Kia ora team, welcome to KiwiRPG Week. So excited to be back for 2025, oh my goodness, with a bunch of new people. I am super excited. We're going to get to some introductions in a second, but also if you're looking at the screen and you're like, somebody's frozen, we have had some technical difficulties. We will get to why in a moment. But so excited to have you all here. We are telling another Monster of the Week story in a different setting from last year that I'm super excited about. Before we get into it, I also wanted to give you all a heads up. There's going to be a bunch of cool things happening in the chat. We have a bunch of giveaways going on tonight as well for a variety of different Kiwi RPG adventures, as well as a whole bunch of like discounts and deals and bundles going on. It's incredible, and all those details are going to be popping up in chat for you throughout the evening, as well as maybe some cool, fun, special stuff that the players don't know about. So, like, keep an eye out.
Okay.
And in the meantime, come and hang out with us and enjoy an awesome Kiwi RPG mystery. I will, let's do some player introductions before we do character ones. So I'm going to pop around the call, starting with the other moving person, Teague. Would you like to, Teague and or Hamish, but Teague for now, would you like to introduce yourself?
Kia ora, ko Teague tukuingama. My name is Teague. I will be playing Hamish, but that is not my name in real life. I'm a resident of Te Whanganui Atara, Wellington. I'm just very excited to be a part of Kiwi TTRPG Week. Looking forward to the game.
Amazing. Excited to have you here, as well as our wonderful Campbell / Simon. Campbell.
Kia kato, ko Campbell Tukuingoa. I'm playing Simon. My camera's broken, so instead you get a picture of me / Simon as he would somewhat look as a 14-year-old kid. But yeah, this is a photo of me when I was 13.
Amazing. And I am Ruby. Hello. Lovely to be back for another Kiwi RPG Week. I will be playing all the other people and taking in this wonderful mystery together. A few things to know ahead of time. We are going to be streaming for a few hours and we might have a little bit of a break in the middle, so stick around for that. And as I said, keep an eye on the chat for all the wonderful giveaways and bits and pieces that'll be popping up in there. But I think unless anybody tells me that I've dramatically forgotten anything, I think we are good to get into the mystery. So, let's get started. Alrighty. As she says as she frantically clicks a bunch of buttons. All right. So, someone in chat has said silly time. We'll see if that's the vibe we end up with. But the scene opens on an everyday man on a beaten up couch, staring slack-jawed at a TV screen. As quickly as it appears, it's replaced by a teenage student at the back of a classroom, utterly bored with the lesson, and that in turn is swapped for an elderly woman in a bingo hall, the epitome of disinterested. As the footage slowly zooms out between the three, upbeat instrumental music meant to convey pleasant motivation and the chance of something more plays underneath a carefully curated voiceover. Are you tired of your dead-end life? Your dead-end career? Your dead-end social circle? Have you reached the extent of what your immediate surroundings can offer you? Does it feel like the grass could be greener somewhere else? We know it is. That's why Drift is a revolutionary transport facilitator committed to getting you where you're meant to be. A car horn honks, and all three figures turn to look dramatically over their shoulder, eyes lighting up as a Toyota Prius slides into each frame. Don't settle for where you are. Strive to travel further. With Drift, our unparalleled customer service, flexible career opportunities, and now our academic outreach program, we make sure your potential gets where it needs to go. The teenager is now smiling brightly as they walk across a graduation stage, excitedly accepting a rolled up diploma and toss their graduation cap in the air, even though that's not what you're meant to do. As the cap wipes the frame, we see them sighing contentedly as they lean back in an airplane seat. and the camera zooming out the window again reveals a Drift branded plane soaring across the skies, the familiar Drift logo of a large star shape zooming away from its smaller star of a beginning, clearly seen on the plane's tail. So don't settle like dust. Drift like a tricked out race car from an awesome action movie. The everyday man is now in a white tank top behind the wheel of his Toyota Prius and does a killer burnout in a pack and save car park. Drift, let the better you out of here. And as that video concludes, it slowly blacks out on the screen. Instead, our camera frame shifts, and as it zooms away from that, we now see a huge assembly hall packed with hundreds of students of our wonderful fictional high school for this adventure, Mansfield High School, the local co-ed high school in Wellington, the capital of New Zealand. In between the like motorway and the Botanic Gardens, if you know Wellington at all. And we see hundreds of people currently crowding this hall, but our camera, our vision for this adventure, hones in on, for starters, one person in particular, kind of a couple of rows towards the front in the mix with some of the younger kids at school here. Simon, could you please introduce yourself, your character, and what your character's face looks like as you see this like Drift promotional content being played at your school assembly?
Simon has just reached, just is in the beginning throes of puberty. He's just started his growth spurt, and all of his kind of like baby fat has just disappeared. He doesn't quite know what to do with his limbs, but he isn't actually tall yet. He's getting there, but he's still not there yet. He's got short blonde hair, blue eyes, and he appears to be tired. He's got bags under his eyes that never seem to quite go away.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, he's looking around at everyone else, and with a level of confusion, going, "Why are we getting ads at assembly?" He's not saying that out loud, of course. He's just looking at his fellow students, and up towards the teachers where they are in the room, waiting for some kind of explanation.
Yeah, there is y'all got called here. This was sort of some sort of like special assembly that got called. It's towards the end of the school week. But any of your fellow students nearby, some of them seem equally like confused, and some of them seem like, I don't know, I guess we're getting ads everywhere else. They don't seem overly fussed about it. But it does strike you as a little bit odd in the middle of an educational context for the moment. And as you're sort of scanning the other assembled like faculty that are sitting around on the stage as the like projector screen starts rolling up at the back of it, the camera kind of skips back a number of rows towards the back of the high school to some of the older students, and instead focuses on our second player character of the evening. Hamish, could you please introduce yourself, a bit about what you look like and what you look like in this current moment as this presentation wraps up?
Yeah, Hamish Heekham is like 17, maybe like year 12. I don't know how old our high schoolers are. Year 12.
Yeah.
If Simon's just beginning the throes of puberty, Hamish is just coming out of it. Still filling in his body, but more like knows what he feels like, and is past all the weird wobbly puberty stuff. He's got like a little bit of fluff on his face from not having shaved, and he's got long, just to like the chin line, blonde hair, though he's lacking Simon's blue eyes. And he's looking around and like just looking for Monica, whose dad owns Drift, to see why, like, if Monica has any idea why we're being advertised.
Incredible. So for just to be clear, Monica's dad does not own Drift, but he does work for Drift.
Okay.
That's very well remembered from our warm up game. And I think if you're looking around the assembly, Monica is watching this presentation and is like surprisingly engaged, but you can tell there is a level of like pride in it. For the reference at home, Monica is a very like social elite teenager at Mansfield High School. Is one of those like girls, one of those girls that, at least in my experience, really only exists in like CW TV shows that throws house parties like every weekend. Has very like probably goes to the tennis courts like all the time. I think has an at-home tennis court we've established, as
Yeah,
well
with
as
two
various hot
jacuzzis on
tubs.
either end.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And so, but she seems very like watching it, and then also has that kind of stance like she's expecting people to look at her because Drift got brought up, and so she's like a little bit feeling a little bit of the attention and is loving it. Um,
I kind of give her
and
like a small thumbs up, like, yeah, this is good. This is good.
Amazing. And as the like projector screen at the front of the at the back of the stage finally wraps up, you see very uh a man that you immediately clock as like a desk jockey, in a kind of ill-fitting like business suit, balding on top, kind of walks out a little bit on the shorter side, walks up to the main what is the word? It's not a plinth.
Podium?
That thing.
Mm.
The microphone on the school stage, and kind of adjusts it very quickly. It's like, hello, on behalf of Drift, it's my honor to be here at Mansfield High School to announce our new scholarship program. We have 5 scholarship slots for any students looking to engage in foreign exchange programs and or seek higher education at distant learning institutions. If you are at all interested in partaking in this scholarship program, I will be around after the assembly to provide flyers and further information. This can also be found inside the Drift app, which I'm sure all of you have on your smartphones. um, if you have any questions, I will be around to answer them, and I look forward to engaging with you and your academic prowess in fulfilling of this contract. Thank you. It kind of steps away, and yeah, there's very like quiet, slow applause, and eventually the principal of your high school, Principal Stratton, who is a very like calm and measured woman, uh, steps up to them and kind of gives a nod and some more applause and takes the microphone over from him. Says, right, so as you've said, we wanted to make sure that all of the kids at the school that might be approaching NCEA level or approaching thinking about their further education, we're aware of this wonderful new opportunity that's come up. So if you're interested at all in partaking in the program, feel free to stick around after assembly. Otherwise, I think we're about to head into lunch break, so I won't keep you too much longer. But can we all say thank you to Mr. Cooper?
Thank you,
you.
Mr. Cooper.
Very good. All right. Assembly dismissed, everybody. And you hear like a bell, the main school bell go off. As you'll start filing out of assembly, for player context, this is taking place about 2 months post your warm-up game stuff. So post your other mystery, post you kind of forming together as a bit of an adventuring duo. Now, there has been some developments for the both of you as you have been, since you had gone on that particular mystery adventure. So long as I can find them in my notes, because my notepad is backwards. There we go. So, one of the main developments, Hamish, you have been interacting with the online forums and such, with your contact that you've recently introduced yourself to, Polly.
A Frady Cat 412.
A Frady Cat 412. Have you also? I know that you introduced yourself to Polly. Did you also let her in on the like monster hunting side of things, or no? Just the fact that you are the online person.
I don't think she knows anything about the monster hunting things, but like just knows that I'm very interested in anything
Yeah.
monster related.
Wonderful. She has absolutely, she's given you some like background access to, or not so much background access. You are not an admin, that is very definite.
Of course.
But it's more that you have been given sort of almost like algorithm special treatment, in the sense that if your account is not registered as having like spotted something on the forum, it will keep showing up in your feed until it does. So like you're not going to miss anything by just the
Great.
nature of not seeing it at the time it comes up. um Simon,
Mhm.
similarly, towards the end of our last adventure, your vision also changed. And over the course of the last 2 months, you have had a somewhat disorienting experience. Um, because you have discovered that there is a combination of magical effects that are existing across Wellington almost all the time. So your vision from like 2 months ago has now become like it's got a filter over it constantly. Um,
Mm.
it has this slightly more like desaturated quality to it than it did before, except for in certain circumstances. And I think over the last 2 months, you have worked out what some of those circumstances are, namely when you're in like large concentrations of people. So, particularly when you're at school. When you're at school, it's almost the opposite effect. It is almost too saturated to look at. Like, it gets kind of hard to stay focused at in larger groups of people. Um, Being around like your collection of friends, or like being at home with your kind of like family unit, tends to be a kind of comfortable medium level of what you remember your regular vision looking like. But this is how that has manifested in the time since. um, but aside from that particular adventure that you've already gone on, you haven't specifically got anything on your books at the moment that you were actively looking into, aside from anything you would have regularly wanted to keep tabs on. So, as this assembly clears out and the school bell rings for lunch, what are the both of y'all doing?
Uh, I would like to go and like wait politely near Mr. Cooper to get see if I
Okay.
can learn more about these scholarships.
Incredible. Absolutely. Simon, what are you wanting to do as well?
Uh, I'm going to clock that Hamish is doing that, and I'm just going to
Mm.
watch from a distance.
Okay, so you wanted to just kind of
Close
chill
enough,
out in the background.
close enough to listen in, but not so close that I'm noticeable.
Okay, in that case, go ahead and make our first roll of the evening and roll to act under pressure for me.
Absolutely.
See
I
just how noticeable you are.
don't know why I keep doing this.
Okay,
Mix
that's a big success. So you get a worst outcome, a hard choice, or a price to pay.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say, uh, I'm gonna give you a hard choice in some
Mhm.
to some extent, where um you think you can do a good job of like listening in without being I think you know that you can do it without being noticed by the people involved in the conversation. There might be some other people walking by that might notice you, like any faculty that are trying to clear the hall out might notice that you're still loitering around.
Sure, yeah, yeah. I'm going to try listening anyway.
Cool, awesome, wonderful. So you hang around, and just like behind some stacks of chairs at the back of the hall, as things are wrapping up to see if you can listen in on what's going on. Hamish, you walk up to Mr. Cooper. You are a good foot taller than Mr. Cooper, easily,
Mhm.
and as you walk up, you can see that you are in the middle of a group of about like a dozen kids. There's a few kids that seem to be pretty interested in the offer. Um, and the moment that you kind of like walk into the interaction, he's kind of in the middle of handing out a variety of flyers, and kind of hands one to your like sternum and then looks up at your face and hands it out
Thank,
properly.
thank you.
It's like glad to see you're interested. What exactly appeals to you about the Drift family?
Uh, The Drift family. I've just always loved sitting in the back of a car with a stranger
Mm,
driving. I
mm.
was actually just more interested in.
Soothing. Mm,
Yes, I was more interested in the destinations of is
mm.
where can Drift take you?
Drift can take you anywhere. We have expandable ranges for our scholarship program for a wide variety. If you're looking to just change elsewhere in the country, or if you're planning on going overseas, we have some programs over in Europe, over in the Americas. We have the capacity to help you get wherever you might be needing to go. That's the drift. Yes.
Oh, um, great. What do I need? Like Scotland? We could do.
Absolutely, yes.
Oh,
You'll see that there's a questionnaire on the back of the information form that you're more than welcome to fill in. Are you graduating soon? Are you planning on that?
yeah, not next year, but the year after.
Right. Of
Yeah.
course, yeah, absolutely.
Um.
Yes.
Uh. Cool. And what do I just hand this back to you? Do I just fill it out now and hand it back to you, or do I
Oh,
go on
you
the?
can hand that back to your teachers. We actually have a well, there'll be a small test here at school if you are looking to complete the scholarship program, and then
Uh-huh.
those that might be eligible for such a scholarship will even get to visit Drift HQ. Exciting!
Wow. Was that where you work?
Yes, that is where I work. On Willis Street. Is yeah.
Very. I can't wait. I can't wait. That sounds incredible. Thank you, Mr. Cooper.
Of
You've got
course.
a great way of public speaking. And he's just
Thank
going to
you.
turn around and go like walk to a wall and start filling out the questionnaire.
Yeah, wonderful, great. You start filling out the questionnaire. A lot of it is pretty standard stuff, like it's getting your name, like what year you're in. Doesn't ask for like date of birth or anything, but does ask for like general demographic kind of information,
Hmm.
like how big of a household you come from, like what region you're currently going to school in, if you have any particular plans of what kind of higher education you might be trying to complete, like what other degree you might be going to work on, and in any particular area, like location. Scotland,
Hmm.
absolutely valid for that. Um, and if you are a Drift member, like if you have a Drift account, do you think that Hamish does?
Yeah, I think Hamish would like leave what he wants to study blank as like just
Okay.
but we like absolutely has a drift account, although
Mhm.
doesn't use it often because he has his own car.
Yes, for sure. And do you think that how good do you think Hamish is academically at school?
I think Hamish is pretty good.
Nice.
Like will let his grades drop if like he's on a lead that
Mhm.
requires more attention, but like every like the day to day stuff he's mainly working on his studies. So I think he's like one of the top of the class.
Yeah. Yeah,
Not
nice.
getting ducks though, you know.
Yeah, for sure. He's like up there, but not
Yeah.
not going hard out.
No,
Yeah.
that would be lame. That wouldn't be
Wonderful.
that cool if he was
Yeah, fair, very fair.
yeah.
Cool. So you absolutely can fill in that form as you are like taking the moment to like step aside and fill it in. Simon, as in your like sort of hidden away section of the school hall, you notice your English teacher, Miss Solinger, who is a very like warm, soft spoken lady, comes over and just kind of notices you hanging around at the like off to the side. Hi, Simon. Everything all right? You're right to eat to lunch?
Oh yeah, yeah. Everything's fine. I was just gonna say hi to my brother.
Oh, uh,
He was
sure.
he was just talking to the drift guy, but
Sure.
I'll go. I'll go chat to him now that he's done.
Okay, sure. I just Simon, I did just want to talk to you because obviously, I know high school life can be tricky. And I did get a bit of a heads up I did get a bit of a heads up that you might be having a tough time. I just wanted to make sure that if you are having a tough time, that you know that my classroom is a safe place to come and talk about that. You know.
Oh, no, I'm fine. Is this about my grades or?
No. It's not about your grades, but no, this is more look, this is more Nurse Crook mentioned that you were having a bit of a panic a little while ago. And we just wanted to keep an eye on you, and I just wanted to make sure that you know that I'm kind of around if you need it. Yeah.
A bit of a panic?
You
There's a moment.
remember?
Simon
Yeah.
Simon genuinely doesn't remember the incident that Miss Solinger is referring to.
Yeah.
It like takes him a second, and he goes, "Oh, yes. Well, I wasn't so much a panic. I just yeah, everything's okay. I'm fine.
Mm, Okay, okay. Well, if
Um,
you if you do need to talk, privately, you can always stop by.
yeah, sure, sure.
Mm. Okay, all right. I'll let you talk to your brother. Sorry, right. Have a good lunch. And she like you can see she has the instinct to like pinch your cheeks, but just doesn't because that's inappropriate. But lets you head off and catch up with your brother.
So
Hmm?
you're going to be a drift driver, huh?
Were you paying attention at all to Mr. Cooper?
What do you mean?
That's not what this is. This is about scholarships. We could study
Yeah,
overseas. I got you a flyer actually, and he hands him
to,
a blank flyer.
to
Oh,
work, yeah,
nice.
to work for drift though.
No, no, and like checks the flyer. Is it at all to say it's
No,
to
not
work?
specifically. No.
No, no. It's just a scholarship to study elsewhere. And just money to get you places that you might not be able to get. Is what I see it as.
Sure, sure. I'll remember you said that when you're driving me to the airport.
I already do drive you everywhere, Nitro.
Okay. Well, well.
Yeah.
And then Simon starts to leave.
Very mature. Think on it.
Unbeatable. Unbeatable retort. Incredible. Cool. You'll head out for lunch. As you're like heading off on your lunch break, can I get Simon? Can you roll for your hunches, please?
Yes.
Which is a move from the spooky playbook, just to keep tabs on whenever something suspicious might be happening.
It's a mixed success.
Okay. All right. Um, Mixed success. Incredible. Great. A mixed success. When something bad is happening, you get to somewhere that you aren't. On a mixed success, you get there late in time to intervene, but not prevent it altogether. As you are walking out of the school hall, like out into the kind of courtyard area to go and have lunch, um, there's no real like as we've mentioned before when Simon has these kind of hunches or these visions of things potentially going wrong, um there's no real warning for him, correct? It just kind of happens.
Oh yeah, it just happens.
Wonderful. So I think it's as you are walking out the door and you're in the hallway between like Great Hall and stepping outside into the courtyard. Following behind him, Hamish, you see your brother Simon go like do the entirely limp and like briefly hover off of the floor thing that he is known to do when something dramatic is happening.
Um,
Um,
Hamish throws an apple at a light bulb directly above Simon, and then like grabs Simon as if he's lifting Simon up to make it go on. No, just need to no, do it to the left to try and like pretend that Simon's not levitating and he's just holding Simon up to change a light bulb.
incredible. Great. Roll to manipulate someone just on the crowd to see how well you can hide this fact.
Yeah. Oh, hello. Oh, there we go.
Okay, mixed success.
Mixed
Um,
success.
People, they will believe you if you do something right now to prove how much you mean it. So holding Simon up in this fashion is not enough. What else are you going to do to prove that you mean what you're doing?
Uh, um, uh, uh, um, he's gonna pull out his flashlight and like
Okay.
start unscrewing the top and be like, "Here, I've got you a bulb."
Right as Hamish says that, Simon goes limp in his arms.
Oof.
Oh yeah,
Wonderful.
no, altitude sickness. I gotta take it to Mrs. Crook. Sorry, guys.
I think with that mixed success, you try valiantly, but you don't manage to successfully like play off the fact that something is up with Simon. They might not
Mhm.
notice the like magical levitating aspect of it, but a lot of people clock that something's up with him.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Simon, in your mind, you are seeing visions of something altogether happening. You are sitting on, well, like you are in the point of view of somebody uh sitting on the side of like a footpath wall near the waterfront, and you can see that they are oh yeah, by the way, shout out to Paranormal Wellington, which is a different Kiwi RPG that we are not playing, but you can go find on the Kiwi RPG library. We just also happen to be playing in Wellington as they're sitting for our Monster of the Week game, so there will be a lot of Wellington references. But if you want a specific one, go check out Paranormal Wellington. Yes, you see somebody. You see like from the perspective of sitting on a wall near the waterfront, and uh, there is a moment where they're kind of like in you're almost in a conversation with a group of people that start like saying goodbyes and kind of walking away from you back towards the center of town, and then like a couple of seconds after that you see them, your vision shifts to like you looking down at your phone in the drift app, and you see somebody ordering a car to pick them up from the waterfront to go uh to like the stadium near the train station,
Mm-hmm.
and then it kind of jumps again and you see them sitting at the waterfront as like a Toyota Prius slowly like slides into view, and they seem to get up and like head towards the car, and by the time that you come back to consciousness, you are lying on a familiar sickbay bed, with a very terse looking nurse in one corner, and Hamish, do you think you stuck around in the nurse's office, I imagine?
Uh, if you'll allow, I don't think. I
Yes.
think the moment he gets out of sight of anyone,
Ooh,
he knows exactly what's going on, so he's not going to
for sure.
take uh, Simon to Miss Crook. He's going to
Yeah.
find like behind the toy shed, the like PE shed that you can rent like
Oh,
stuff
incredible,
from.
great.
Uh, he's going to like sit Simon down, uh, uh, grab out an apple, um, and just like wait for Simon to come to.
Critical, great. So scratch the sick bay stuff. You come up, sitting in between the like PE equipment shed, which is one of the places where I think Simon mentioned he sometimes catches up with his friends, anyways.
Yes.
But instead of your friend sitting across from you is your older brother.
I hand him an apple. Go, what you got?
I don't know. I mean, it was just someone ordering a drift. That was kind of it. I mean, they were going to the cake tin, but like um they
Simon
didn't
pulls out a
see.
notebook and start. Hamish, sorry, pulls out a notebook and starts like write down stadium, caked and drift,
Mhm.
just
They just
anything that
they
Simon
didn't
says.
seem like they were in danger in any way. Like, but
Have you had a wrong hunch before?
no.
Right. Well, so they're probably in danger.
Yeah, but
Uh,
I've just normally I get some idea of what's going on. Um,
do we only have time for? Oh, is it only lunch, or do we have a class after lunch?
This is just a lunch break.
Yeah.
But also it's high school and you're teenagers. Whether you want to stick around for your classes is up to you,
Mm.
scholarship students.
Yeah, yes. Hamish feels the flyer already burning a hole in his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh,
We gotta go. We gotta
he's
go.
gonna. Do you want to check it out
Well, yes, of course.
now?
Yes, it's happening now. What?
Okay, okay.
What's the matter?
No, no. It's just look. We're learning. I've got to study up. We've got exams coming up, and I got to know all the material if I want to pass, and especially if I want to get this scholarship, right?
Okay, so what matters more, the scholarship or someone's life? Because I'm gonna go save their life right now, whether you're coming or not.
Well, I mean, you didn't really. You said yourself that they didn't look like they were in
I
danger.
mean, you're living up to
So
your name, Turtle. Let's go.
okay. And I assume Hamish follows Simon
Yep.
to the car.
Simon is heading to the car.
Amazing, cool. You head out to the nearby car parks for the high school to jump in your vehicle. What, for the audience at home, what does Hamish's vehicle look like?
It's a red Toyota Corolla,
Mm-hmm.
manual, missing two hubcaps. No, not two caps. What are the
Yeah,
caps
yeah,
on
yeah.
wheels? What are they? Are they hubcaps?
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
hubcap, yeah.
Oh, look at me.
Um,
um, and like the lights are like fogged over. They still work, but they're
mm-hmm.
not anywhere near as bright.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there is like inside you see like the radio there is hella dicked out. Like any CD player or anything like that is gone. As
Uh-huh.
Hamish has been slowly repurposing his like home radio to be fit into his car so that it's portable, so that he can accompany Simon, sorry, on
Mm-hmm.
any of Simon's nocturnal excursions.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. Wonderful. I'm going to say, unless you particularly want to do anything on the ride over, because of where you're situated closer to the Botanic Gardens, it's a pretty quick trip down towards the stadium.
6 minutes.
Is there anything in particular you want to do, or are you just heading straight over?
Yeah, as we drive, Simon is going to start eating the apple that Hamish gave him. And the moment we pull up, I open the glove box and there's already
Yeah.
a moldy apple in there. And I just shut it again, and then throw the rest of it in the back of the car and start.
You trying to make cider in my car?
Well,
Outside. We live near the Botans. That's like fertilizer or something, right?
I've already thrown it in the back. I'm not going to go get it now. We've got time is of the essence, Hamish. And I get out of the car and
pressure on this thing that we don't know.
Amazing. You'll pull up to the stadium. Are you parking for the stadium or for the train station? Because the train station doesn't have as much nearby parking, or are you wanting to go all the way around and kind of pay for parking at the stadium?
I reckon we aim for like Thorndon, so around near
Okay.
Thorndon, so we can like halfway in between.
Love that. Wonderful. In that case, we will smash cut to. We don't have to worry about going through a whole parking mess. It's a whole thing. But
we don't have time for that.
We don't have time for that. As you get back like onto the footpath, you can see that it's pretty busy around these parts for like midday. Everybody that is like working half a day is in the middle of making their way back out to the hut if they want to head home that way. Other people just generally lazing around in the few green sections of the inner city so they can have a nice and lovely outdoors lunch and bits like that. What are you doing as you get to this area? Like, what are you on the lookout for? You've had a vague vision that something bad is going on. What do you think is your course of action?
Is there like at the stadium? I actually don't know this because I don't go see sports ever.
Yeah.
But is there like a rideshare drop-off area near the stadium? Surely there must
is. Yeah, there's like a drive-up bit, and also I don't watch sports ever. I just go there because of conventions. But yes, there is a drive-up section. It's very close to the entrance of the stadium. There's like a ramp up from the car park section where people can kind of pull in and get dropped off for rideshare.
Do you want to check that out, Nitro?
Yeah. I mean, I don't have any better ideas.
No, of course you don't. Right, let's go.
What did you say?
No? Sorry, I'm the grade A student.
Amazing. You start walking along the long, like 10-minute walk of just concrete pathway to get out towards the stadium. Up on this particular section, you're not seeing as many other people around. It doesn't look like there's any like event on at this kind of time of day. And you are very starkly like out in the open as you are walking towards the stadium. As you do so, Hamish, you get a ping on your phone that has the obvious notification sound of like somebody getting in touch with you from the forum.
Mm,
Like that
great.
has its own kind of sort of private messagey system.
Open the phone.
Sweet.
Log into Loch Ness and Key.
Nice. You log into crypto, not cryptocurrency related. It is a cryptid and mystical, magical sightings forum for various things around. I imagine it's probably around the country, but you're always in the like Wellington section of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as you log in Loch Ness and Key under your secretive username, you see that you have a message from, as you mentioned earlier, a Frady Cat 412, one of your contacts within the forum that knows who you are in real life, if not what you get up to on a regular basis. And as this prompt comes through, it's just a message from a Frady Cat saying, "Notice you left school. Something up?" Question mark.
Uh, I reply, yeah, forgot lunch.
Okay, cool.
And just hope that that's enough.
Nice.
And then it's like, no, I should use this resource. Deletes the message
Okay.
after it's been sent, so there's very obviously a message sent.
You have deleted an unsent a message. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's like, yeah, checking out the stadium. Any recent stories?
You see that there's like a little bit of a pause, and you get a message back that says like, not sure, but can look into it if you're curious.
Yeah, can you set up an auto tag for drift hashtags and stadium/cake tin hashtags?
Awesome. Absolutely. Now, my wonderful mods hanging out in chat, could you please put a quick prompt in the chat for me? Our wonderful players, you've got a live forum. Those of you hanging out in the chat, if you would like to, welcome to the crypto team, also known as the Mansfield Monster Appreciators or the MMA. We our chat for the purposes of this evening is becoming our active forum. So if you want to help out with the adventure that we're taking part in right now, you can help by doing your own kind of research on behalf of our adventurers as they are going about different tasks within the mystery. So if you want to send a specific message to our adventurers, Loch Ness and Key is Hamish, and Spelljammer is Simon. You can feel free to put hashtag either of those usernames at the beginning of your message, and we will be keeping track of what you are saying in chat, which will then feed into what information our adventurers are going to get back from the forum. So, chat, you're on research mission.
That's excellent.
Try and do a good job.
Wow.
Incredible. So you send out that prompt from to a Frady Cat to kind of get in touch with people and be like, hey, can you see if what you can find out about Drift while you're on the way walking to the stadium? Absolutely. While you're on your phone, Simon, are you wanting to do anything in particular as well?
Yeah, I've got my backpack and I've opened it up and I'm rifling through it, and I start to pull out a couple of things. The first is a gold armlet inscribed with runes that I put slide over onto my right hand. It does not fit with my school uniform at all. I've got a white shirt on, but this armlet is just kind of going over the top of that. Similarly, I take out this amulet that is very chunky and I'm just kind of wearing over the top of my shirt. I'm, wearing the school uniform that is very like uh, modern day, and these items that I'm wearing over the top of it do not fit with it at all. As Hamish looks up, I turn to him and I'm like, "Have you got your belt?"
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. So and
I gave you a
Hamish
magic
has to
belt for
hurry
a
to the
reason.
car and then hurry back to Simon. I just don't want to. I don't want to be wearing an artifact to school.
Well, sure, but like, you should have got it when we got out of the car. I mean,
I was
there's
a
always
bit
a chance something's
distracted
going
by
to happen.
all the apples growing in my glove box.
Well, whose fault is that?
What
Like,
are you trying to imply that it's mine?
if you cleaned your car out once in a while, you wouldn't be in this situation.
I don't use the glove box.
Well, once again, I really don't think that's my problem. And I'm gonna take the goblet out of my bag, turn away from Hamish, and kind of look around the area, just gauging how many people are nearby.
Cool, absolutely. Go ahead and I'm gonna actually say, I'm gonna say just roll plus sharp because it's kind of a read a bad situation, but I think this is a more like generic informations.
Yeah, sure. Roll plus shot.
Whoa, there we go. We got our first failure of the evening. Unless you want to use a luck point to make that a complete success, that is a failure.
Simon is not very aware of his surroundings, and this has been a very common theme of his character. So we're sticking with that.
Wonderful. Well, mark experience. We love failing forward in Monster of the Week. Incredible. Cool. You try and get a good like lay of the land around here. And as you are looking out, walking along this completely like empty stretch of pathway, you are kind of distracted because you're seeing everything has gone to that more like grayscale desaturated tone that you're having a really difficult time not paying attention to in a lot of ways. And I think that there is it's almost like you would expect there to be more color around here, but there's not because there's a lot of people like downstairs going and catching the train, but everything's still kind of in that more grayscale view, and it's kind of off-putting because I don't think over these 2 months you've had enough time to like fully work out what that necessarily represents in terms of what your vision is seeing. But yeah, you try and get a lay of the land of like how many people are around. You're really not seeing a lot of detail.
Okay. I'm just like holding this goblet, fiddling with it, trying to decide whether or not it's safe enough. Well, whether or not A, I need to use it, or B, it's safe to use it because there's no people around. For now, Simon is just kind of being indecisive about that.
Yeah, cool. Wonderful. You continue walking towards the stadium. By the time you get like approaching the entrance, Hamish, you've gotten a couple of pings back from a Frady Cat. A couple of them mentioning the potential of ghost trains, which is like not entirely unheard of thing. That like phenomenon of like a train that you get on and you can't get off, or it leads to a mysterious stop of some kind. And you've also heard of definitely some like disappearances associated with drift. And admittedly, like you're getting a lot of information that is kind of being filtered through a Frady Cat, like getting filtered through the admin. And she's like getting all the information and then giving you the stuff that is like, here's things that seem relevant. Yeah. Amazing. But you see, as you are approaching the stadium properly, you see one singular bright white car kind of pull up to the entranceway. It's like within running distance if you really wanted to get like right up and close to it. Are you trying to Are you trying to hide the fact that you're here at all, or are you just rocking straight up to it?
Immediately, Hamish starts going to his bag and like going to his lunch stuff and like pulling out like this like white paper bag and just starts handing it to Simon. Take it.
What?
Look, we're kids. We're sneaking away to do some not allowed things. Pretend you're taking drugs from me. I think to try and look natural to whoever's in the car.
I don't want to get us arrested while we're working on this case.
It's just a sandwich. If anybody comes close, it's just a sandwich.
Fine.
And then
I take the
using
sandwich
this as a cover.
Amazing.
and then very obviously open and start to eat it.
Wonderful. Amazing. You take the bag and start continue walking along. Hamish probably trying to give up a more like clandestine approach.
Yeah.
Simon,
Yeah.
The typical like it's all there pretty much. It's all pretty out in the open. Just going straight for it. Amazing. And as you get like towards the entrance, you see a person get out of the Prius. You see a someone that gives you the vibe of like a backpacker of some kind. They've got one of those like bigger sort of traveling backpacks, those longer rectangular ones. Gets out of the car and kind of looks around a little bit confused, and spots the two of you. Also looks a little bit confused as to like why you might be here. And then you see them hear the sound of the train station announcement of the like Hutt Valley line leaving in 5 minutes or whatever it might be. And you see the person kind of clock it and then just kind of absentmindedly nod and then start walking back the way that you came towards the train station. The Prius is still there at the moment, but it looks like it might start zooming up and heading out again soon. What do you all want to do?
Can I pull out my phone and order a drift from the stadium to the school to see if this Prius picks it up?
Ooh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm gonna say I don't even think you need to roll anything for that because that's just logistics. Yeah. Quick question. Actually, how old specifically is Simon?
Not
Hamish, Simon.
Simon is 14.
Simon is 14. Do you think Simon has a drift account?
Yes, Simon has a drift account. It's connected to his mum's card, and he has used it. And he has used it a total of 2 times.
Okay, interesting. All right. Cool. You order a ride from the stadium, and you see that almost immediately, like within a couple of minutes, there is the sound of the like electronic whirring of the engine as if the car is going to like boot up and start going, and then it very quickly shuts down again. And you see your ride gets accepted by a person called Shahadi. And immediately says, ride at your destination. Not even approaching, just says ride ready for pickup.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Should I get in the should I get in the car? Should we check out is this are we suspicious of this? I've ordered this drift, sorry.
Wait, hang on. You've ordered a drift?
I just wanted to see if like they were like actually a drift, huh?
We've got the car. What do we need a drift for?
No, I can cancel it. I'm just like, do I get into the?
Well,
you're the on-site investigator. What would you do?
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen anything magical yet. I take another bite of the sandwich and start chewing.
That's my lunch.
Oh, you gave it to me.
It's okay.
And I hold it out, and there is like literally just half the sandwich left.
I'm gonna I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna get in the Uber. Do you want to check out the area or follow the drift? Sorry, and follow this man. I don't know. Is this suspicious? Is this suspicious?
How?
Somebody got a ride share to the stadium.
Well, I mean, actually, does this man look like the same person from my vision?
You kind of didn't see them
Because it
because
was
you were
first
almost
person.
looking at them from first person, like you were in their perspective. But I think that this person fits in with the group of people that you saw say goodbye. Like it was a similar group of like traveler, like backpacker style people.
Gotcha, gotcha. It could be him, but I'm really not sure.
Right, I'll get in the drift. Here are the keys, and I toss Simon the keys to the car. Look
Uh,
after it.
I'm holding the goblet in one hand and the sandwich in the other. So
I put the keys in the goblet,
Amazing.
I, I,
and I get drift for Hamish, and get in the car.
Cool. You get in the back. You see there is a man in the front seat that has like darker hair but shaved head, darker skin, is like in the front, doesn't even look back at you, just kind of like nods vaguely when you say Hamish,
Mm-hmm.
um, and waits for you to like close the door and buckle up. And then you hear the sound of the car starting to drive away. We'll come back to you in a second. Simon, what are you doing staying at the stadium?
I take another look around to see if there's
Mm-hmm.
anything strange or unusual.
Cool. Go
Uh,
ahead and roll to read a bad situation.
oh sure.
What?
Um,
Sorry, bad
Don't
situation.
worry, that's just what the move's called. I have to
Oh
say
yeah.
read
that.
a situation. It's
Read
a
a
situation.
situation.
Um,
That is
Simon,
another failure unless you want to use luck.
as established, Simon can't read. So I'm gonna take that.
Amazing. My experience, wonderful. Let me remind myself of what happens considering you did just split up as well. Let me just double check what the on a miss. On a miss, you might misread the situation. Oh, you might misread the situation. Okay, amazing.
Oh yeah,
Great. So
Simon
you
is very relaxed right now. Like he's still worried because the hunch came through, but like as far as he's concerned, he hasn't seen anything out of the ordinary or anything dangerous.
for
His
sure.
brother's just got on a drift heading back to school.
Yep.
He's just there's that guy that's got out of the drift.
Yep.
Maybe I'll follow him.
Yeah,
But like,
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, you keep a bit of a distance. You think you're doing a super solid job of like seeming indiscreet, even though you're the only two people on this pathway, and it's extremely barren of any sort of obstructions to hide behind. And you see this person walk back down to the train station very casually, um, walk to a platform and onto a train. And I will state for the record that they don't seem to buy a ticket, but I don't think Simon clocks it.
yeah.
Like that's the path that they take, is just like straight down the ramp and like on a platform and onto a train. And I think you're just like, oh, okay, they're getting on a train.
Um, yeah. Simon is like, okay, what am I doing here? I am just following the stranger around. This feels like it's leading nowhere, so
Mm-hmm.
let me have one final go at it. He
Mm-hmm.
walks up to the guy,
Okay.
and he goes, "Hi, I'm trying to catch a train to the wider upper, but which one should I be taking?"
Uh, um, I, uh, I don't know. Sorry. You could ask someone else.
Ah, okay. Well, I'm Simon. It's nice to meet you. And he holds out he puts the goblet away, holds out his hand for a handshake, and
Uh huh.
then as the man goes in for a handshake, he suddenly
Yeah.
snatches his hand away and then holds out his left hand instead.
You see this person go to reach for your hand, and you like very suddenly swap your hands, and they don't seem to really clock that something weird has happened. They just handshake you like this now.
Sorry, I
But
forgot I'm
they,
left-handed.
huh,
Are you? What? Where are you heading to?
um, just out of town.
Why?
What? What? Traveling? What? Why?
Oh, fair enough. I don't know. I'm just bored and trying to make conversation.
Uh huh. I should go. The train's gonna leave soon.
Okay, fair enough. And Simon leaves.
Cool. You hop off back onto the platform. You see them get on. Are you planning on leaving and heading to the car?
Uh, yeah, as far as Simon is concerned,
Yep.
everything is above board and normal.
Sick. Wonderful.
So
Great.
I am headed back to the car. I'm going to send Hamish a text saying, uh, nothing's happening here. I don't understand what's going on.
Okay. All right. Cool. You start heading out. Cut to Hamish in the car. You're on a very short car ride because you're heading just back up to the Botans, which is like,
Yeah.
even with traffic, is maybe like 15 minutes max, I would say. I don't drive, so I'm just gonna make it up. But
In the Google Maps, 6 minutes.
oh, wonderful, great. And as you go, for starters, as you're sitting in this car, it feels super cold. Like the driver has the AC on like max, or must do because it's freezing.
Mm.
Um, but they don't seem like they're overly making conversation. They don't even have the radio on.
Yeah.
It's just a silent car ride. What would you
Are
like
they
to do?
taking all the right routes to get back to the school?
They seem like they are, yeah.
Cool. I'm going to update my destination in the Drift app to the
Uh-huh.
stadium as we near the school.
Okay.
Um,
Interesting. All right.
and I'm going to be like, you ever been to the Drift HQ on Willis Street?
Uh, yeah.
What's it like?
Fine. Can I get you to roll to act under pressure for me?
Yeah, that uses cool, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, cool.
Ooh, how cool are you, though?
Not. Whenever I click over this tab, it always takes a while. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that's a
Another failure.
Unless you want to use luck, but you do also get experience from a failure.
No, I'll take the EXP.
Cool. Actually, okay, yes, cool. For Simon's sake and for posterity, Simon, can you roll to help out, please?
Sure. I will make a roll to help out. Make success.
Okay, cool. As you are like typing in this message, like fixing your destination and like to head back towards the stadium, Hamish, for a second you kind of feel your brain sort of like drifting a little bit. Hey, you find it sort of like you're just kind of daydreamy as you're sitting in the car. And for a moment, you feel yourself actually kind of wake up from that state as you see the message come in from Simon. Because there's something like instinctually, I think also probably those kinds of messages are still coming through the forum. Like it's still monster hunting business, so it's still Spelljammer and Loch Ness and Key. So you get that message come through, and you get that instinctual like, oh right, something I've got to like keep tabs on. But then the message says that everything's fine and there's nothing really much to do about it. And as that happens, you feel that alertness kind of drift away from you again. And before you know it, Simon, are you actually going to try and drive to school?
Oh, no, absolutely not. I
Right.
very intentionally sent that text so that Hamish would come back and could drive me back.
Cool. Hamish doesn't show up at the stadium again. At least not for a good like 20 minutes. What do you do?
I think after about 10 minutes, I just sent another message saying, Are you far away?
Um, you get a reply that says at school.
What? You, you're not coming back for the car?
You don't get a reply for like at least 15 minutes. What do you do?
I'm gonna call him.
Okay, cool. Um, Hamish, you've headed back to school because there's like
Yeah.
it's just a chill day and there's nothing much going on.
Yeah.
But it's like approaching the end of lunch break. Um, and you see there's a call on your phone from your brother. What do you do?
I answer it. Hey, Nitro, what's up?
Hi. You just left me
Hmm?
at the stadium? Are you not coming back for the car so that we can get
Ah,
home at the end of the day?
um, yeah. To be honest, I hadn't really thought that far ahead. I just, oh, you can't drive.
I mean, I can walk. Like the school's not that far, but like we, I don't want to have to walk.
uh,
I don't want to have to walk all the way back to school and then finish the school day and then have to walk all the way back to the car.
do I remember anything about the? My understanding is that I was in the drift Uber, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, I've
You
just
were
got a
in the
call from
car and
Simon.
then you were in the car and you remember like going to change your address back to the stadium and
Yeah,
then realizing like then you got the text from Simon that was like nothing's going on here, and on reflection you remember yourself being like, oh well, then I might as well just go back to school, I might as well finish my ride. And you just headed back to school and went back to like hanging out with your friends at lunch break because you don't hang out with your brother on lunch break.
yeah. Yeah. I'll come get you. Gotta be quick. We don't have much lunch break left, do we?
Nah, not much.
No. Yeah. I'll go. I'll see you soon.
Okay.
You're gonna walk down or are you gonna get a ride?
It's a great question. I think. Um, what am I gonna do? I am going to drift
Cool.
to the stadium.
Great.
Um, and how am I gonna? I'm just like, I am going to. Can you just stay on the call, please, Simon? And just chat to me while I'm in the drift.
Sure. What's
You say the word drift out loud, and in your group of friends, you see Monica, like pipe up, having heard you mention drift.
Of course.
And even like as you're on the phone with her, she's like, "Oh, did you need to like go somewhere? Because I can totally like shout you a ride if you need."
Yeah. No, actually, yeah. I'd love to. I need to go to the
who's
stadium.
that, Hamish?
That is.
Is that
Uh,
Monica?
um. Sorry, Grandma. I'm just talking to a friend of mine. Just give me a second.
He likes
Yeah, I
you.
got to pick up my grandma from
Monica.
the train station.
Amazing. Yeah, like within like no time at all, Monica pulls up like she's got the equivalent of the like gold card like extra service
Yeah.
account on Drift. And immediately it's like, oh yeah, there's a ride like right outside to like stadium and back, or are you like cutting for school or whatever?
My car's down there. I pre-planned it so that
Okay,
I'd
cool.
pick up Grandma easy as.
Do you want to
I
like
could have.
save on gas? I could just get them. I can get you to drop you back.
Nah, it's all good. My
Okay.
car's there, and I would rather have it at the end of the day. So,
Sure. All right. Sure thing. All right. Well, they're just outside. Just
what's the name? What's the name for that one?
Oh, you could. It's under my dad's account, so it's under Winston.
Yeah, Winston, and like the driver. Do we know the driver's name?
Yeah, it's Fraser.
Okay, different driver. Great. Um, great. Okay. I will go to the school exit. Wait for
Cool.
go to the drift and
Hello?
speak. Oh, Grandma, thank you for holding.
Did you get a number?
I already have her number. We're friends, Simon. You know, you can have platonic female friends.
Uh-huh, sure. Sure you can.
Okay. What? Nothing happened with the backpacker?
No, he just got on a train.
Did you do where to?
Ah. Didn't look at that.
Simon.
Well, does it matter? He didn't seem in danger. He just kind of got on a train. It was fine.
What did he see? Look, I'm not
I had
gonna
a
lie to you.
chat
I
with him.
fully zoned out of the drift to school. I fully zoned out, and with all due respect, forgot that you were at the stadium.
What do you mean you forgot? How do you
I,
forget about your brother?
it was cold in the drift, and
The Prius, another Prius, because they're all Priuses, you know
yeah,
this,
obviously.
pulls up at the front of school as you're wandering out to the front.
Yeah, I'm hopping in one now. I kind of felt odd in the I just don't want to zone out again. Can you just have a corridor with me?
Okay. So what? I'm trying to keep you awake.
Yeah. Well, what else did you see at the station? Is there anything else you can see at the station? Anybody else acting weird? I don't know.
Lots of
The dude.
people. There's a couple acting weird. Yeah,
What are they doing?
like making out.
Of course, you're looking at that, Simon. Look somewhere else. Give them their privacy. They're in a public place.
Well, exactly. They're in a public place. I mean, what? You know, you don't have any privacy.
Anybody else waiting for trains?
Well, yes, it's a train station. What else do you expect?
Am I feeling weird at all in this drift?
Roll to act under pressure, and Simon, roll to help out.
Absolutely. I don't know if Simon is helping that much, but
That's a +1 to whatever, to +1 forward on whatever your roll is, Hamish.
Okay. Mixed success.
Mixed success. Alrighty. Amazing. A similar mixed success, you get a a worse outcome, hard choice, or a price to pay. As you are like actively on the phone with your brother in this drift.
Oh, sorry. No,
Yeah.
hold on. Is that math right? It says 4 + 3. It should be. Oh no, I'm not cool. Never mind. Ignore me.
As you're on the phone actively like with your brother, you are able to stay pretty zoned into this conversation, even though it's taking a turn that maybe you're not as jazzed to be talking about, of just random things that are going on at the train station. And as you're listening, you do feel like that similar kind of thing that you can feel on like long car trips where you just kind of get in the rhythm of the car and you do almost feel like you would like almost fall asleep or just kind of zone out watching stuff go by. But having your brother on the phone stops that from being a complete failure. So having your brother actively on the phone stops you from zoning out massively. And
Does can
there,
I? Oh, sorry.
yes, there is in terms of the side effects of this particular role, you are going to forget to do something for your mum. What is it?
I'm gonna forget. I think we share the car. So while we're at school, we share the car, and like the car's not high on petrol. So I'm going to get home, and it's going to be near low on petrol, and so
Cool.
she's gonna have to go out of her way to fill it up before doing whatever she needs to do.
Yeah, gotcha. But you make it back to you make it through your trip, and you don't forget to get out or anything like that. You are all good once you get there.
Great. Is there anything weird about the drivers? Like, there's the other drivers seeming to be zoning out like this as well, or
roll to. I'm gonna say roll to investigate a mystery. And I will let you choose whether you want to do that with the regular questions or whether you want to do that with the like alternative questions where you get to pick what they are.
Great. Mixed success.
Mixed success. I believe that's a hold of one.
Ask one.
You do indeed. So in terms of the regular questions, the options that you've got are what happened here, what sort of creature is it, what can it do, what can hurt it, Where did it go? What was it going to do? And what's being concealed here?
What is being concealed here?
Absolutely. Cool. You are as you are like going along in the car, I think of the things that are being concealed here right now, um you notice something. It's not really actively being concealed, it's just that you're kind of clocking it as you're sitting in the car. You see the usual kind of like rideshare setup. They've got like their license, they've even got like a little camera, like a dash camera going but recording back into the car to like
Mm-hmm.
for their posterity's sake. And you see the like mugshot of the like the license, the passport license photo, or the
Yeah.
permit license photo. And it's kind of hard to tell, but when you looking at that and occasionally trying to catch glances of like the driver's face in the in the rear view mirror,
Mm.
um there's just something a little bit like uncanny about them. There's something that
Um.
seems like a little bit off.
Hey, Fraser, are you part of the union?
Hmm.
The
uh
union?
no, not really. It's more of a freelance gig.
Okay, that's all. Sorry, I'm just very curious about social politics and work life. Thanks for the ride.
How old are you?
17.
Okay.
Terrible chat.
I'm trying my best. I'm practically falling asleep here, Simon. Um,
It's not that long of a car ride.
I'm telling you, Simon, something's up.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know. Laser vision the car and see what you can see.
It's not. I've told you before. It's not laser vision. It's not X-ray either. I'm not Superman. Just to be clear.
No, you're absolutely not Superman.
Are you
All
wanting to
right.
do anything before the car drives away, or are you getting in your own car and heading back to school?
The moment Hamish steps out of the car, I want to examine it because of what he said.
Okay, for sure. I will also say roll to investigate a mystery for me. I know that you get your sight stuff as a given, but roll
Yes.
to see if you can spot anything else.
Uh,
That's a failure. Do you want to use a luck point or no?
nah.
Simon continues to see nothing ever. No chance.
I have supernatural sight, but I cannot see the obvious.
Amazing.
That is my true curse.
Amazing.
That dude looked.
Before
Sorry.
any other information on a miss with investigate a mystery, rather than you getting some information, you actually reveal information to the monster, or to whatever is going on, whoever you are talking to. So I would like to know, because I, as the keeper, get to ask you some questions. Mm, uh, I would like to know what is the like, assuming that Simon had the resources to like leave town, what would be the thing that would stop him from doing that?
Family.
Family? Yeah.
Yeah.
Specifically all of your family or part of your family?
I think all of the family.
Cool. Okay, cool. Wonderful. You try and get like a look in on try and like see any specific like extra detail to it. And you don't see any specific magical effects on the car. It's not a magical car. But you do notice two things. You notice one, that the person in the driver's seat seems very desaturated. Seems like extremely low on color from where you're looking at them. And in a little bit of a mirroring of our warm-up game, your brother looks a little bit less colorful than he did.
Okay.
I've got a hunch, and not one of your hunches. I didn't levitate off the ground and mumble mumbo jumbo.
I don't
Um,
mumble.
you don't. Are you conscious during your? It's like saying I don't snore when I sleep. You can't know that.
I
So
don't
I'm telling you, you
sleep
mumble.
talk when I sleep.
Regardless, I think the dude did not seem like his picture, and I know you can't really like. I look nothing like my passport, but I really hope we don't have this, but we might have another pickle situation on our hands.
Okay. Okay. So like his eyes were far apart?
No, what? No, he just looked
Like
like if police sketch artist sketched my description of that person, and then that the sketch came to life.
a description of what person?
The driver, like if I describe the picture of the driver,
But
that
then
sketch comes to life, and that's the person in the driver's seat.
but it okay. So like it seemed like he was like moving strangely, or like was it about the way he looked just in general, or is it about the
Yeah,
way he
just the way
moved?
just the way he looked.
Okay, okay, interesting. Did he have any magical items or auras on him in any way?
He had his drift ID.
I mean, I don't think that's a magical.
What?
Uh,
No, I can't. I don't have the laser sight, Simon. I can't see magic.
yeah. But it's not like you look at this and I hold up the goblet and go, "That's a normal everyday thing."
That's just a
Uh,
Stanley Cup, right?
yeah. I reach in and grab the keys out of the goblet.
Oh, I forgot those were in there.
You for what if they'd slipped out?
Well, that would have been bad.
Damn right, that would have been bad. We got to get back to school.
Yeah, true. I shouldn't be missing English again.
Amazing. You'll get in the car and head back to school. Is there anything you particularly want to do, like in the either during the rest of your school day in relation to stuff that has happened today, or in the evening when you get home? That's at that time.
Uh, I'd like to put out into like message a Frady Cat 412,
Yeah.
and just ask for specific information on like more to do with less of the stadium, more to do with drift drivers,
Mm-hmm.
about like drivers that seem to have gone missing, or like any mentions
Sure.
of like uh I don't know, like my experience, like similar experiences to what I had while in the drift.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Go ahead. I'm gonna say for this in particular, go ahead and roll to investigate a mystery.
Mixed success.
Okay, that's a mixed success, which means you get a hold of one. So, what type of information do you want the most about to have found out, like over the course of the evening, as you are trying? Because it's also like information you get from the forum, but also kind of doing wider investigation on just like stuff you can find on general internet.
Uh, um, any lift drift drivers that
Mhm.
are like a missing person comes up, and then all of a sudden like that's retracted because they're back. Like anything like similar.
Yeah.
Is there any examples of that?
Um, Interesting. So as you this is probably something that you'd be looking into like in the evening when you get home, in your home office, or like in your desk setup back at home. There is a point when you get home where you come in the door and like go to chuck the keys on the table, and you see your mum, who is also in the kitchen in the middle of getting dinner finished up. Your mother, Elena, she is lovely, lovely woman who is doing her best to make things work as a single mum.
Mm-hmm.
Has just come home from a long day of her own work, and is like just pulling something out of the oven, and as you like chuck the keys on the table, it's like, right,
Oh
oh great,
shit.
thank you so much. Look, I'll be back in like no trouble. I just need to head out to like grab some more. We were, what's up? What's that face for?
He's
I
thinking about a
thought
girl.
no, I'm no,
You are?
no, no, no,
And
no.
I go up to my room.
I have forgotten to fill up the car.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
would provide an excuse. But I'll be honest, I don't have one.
You don't have one. Yeah.
I am very sorry. I can go fill it up now if you like and bring it back.
Um, look, no, it's fine. Actually, love, I can do it tomorrow. Maybe I'll drop your kids at school, and then I'll take it with me and get stuff. It's okay. It happens. Um,
I'm sorry. No, I really am sorry. Can I help with dinner at all? Or
it's kind of all handled. It's all right. It's all right, love. You go up and get changed out of uniform and everything. Get into your regular clothes. I'll change plans. I'm pretty good at working on my feet.
okay. Thanks. Sorry, sorry, mum. And I'm gonna head upstairs.
Cool. Um, you head upstairs. There is a little bit more as you're walking up the stairs. There's a little bit more of like noises from the kitchen that she's
Mm,
trying her best not to put on you as you leave the
yeah.
room. Um, Simon, you immediately whip upstairs after trying to drop your brother into it. Hamish, you are back online and looking through stuff. As you are investigating this, your own type of hunch rather than a mechanical hunch, you notice nothing comes up in terms of like specific theorizing about it, right? Like
Hmm.
nobody seems to have put out any of their own sort of conspiracies about what this sort of thing. And for a moment you're like, maybe that's not a lead necessarily, maybe that's just a weird like a side tangent that my brain has gone on. And
Right.
then just to be safe, you kind of narrow in your parameters a little bit more and focus in more specifically like on Wellington. And you still don't get any specific articles, but you are able to bring up a like missing persons report page of like public information of people that have like disappeared or gone missing. Um, and there's no obvious registry of like there's no easy catalog of all the drift
No.
drivers that you can
No.
go through.
Absolutely not.
But you do have like references for drives that you have taken in the past. So this is you kind of going through your specific catalog of information of
Hmm.
like who you have crossed paths with. And you notice that starting maybe like oh you're only 17, so probably starting from when you first got your account, however whatever age that was at,
Hmm.
maybe like a third of the drivers that you've ever had using drift look uncannily similar to someone that went missing within probably within the last 5 years.
So they
Uh,
all look similar to some one person.
no, they all look similar to different people that have all gone missing within the last 5 years. There's like a third of all of the drivers you've ever taken.
Hmm.
That many people are similar to that many missing people over the last 5 years. Uh, And
Cool.
with that information, we are going to take our halftime break. Ta-da! Look at that timing. Thank you all so much for hanging out in chat. Don't forget, you are still welcome to participate in this mystery as well. So, as the forum, as crypto, if you are wanting to yourselves find out more information about this mystery, through a Frady Cat and keeping your lovely forum folks in the loop, feel free to pop a bunch of questions in over the break and see if there's any extra information you can suss out that you might be able to pass on to our players. But for the meantime, we're going to take a break and get some water and snacks and whatever else we might need, and we will see you all in about 5 minutes or so. We'll see you then. Hello, welcome back. We are back from our break. Thank you for sticking with us. We are ready to get into the second half of this mystery. Amazing. Thank you for all the great forum questions in chat. Feel free to keep sending those through. Forum admins are keeping tabs on stuff as the game goes, and we'll be passing them on to our adventurers. So I will say, as you discover that information about your missing persons theory, Hamish, you also get a couple of pings from people on the forum, from other crypto members, from other MMA members, I should say. You see one that does correlate with what you're already kind of having a look at. You don't see any evidence of like, I think, oh, sorry. Somebody's research that kind of confirms what you were already thinking is you don't see any particular weirdness with the vehicles themselves. So like nothing like the way that the car itself works is strange. If there's no like, secret compartments that are kidnapping people inside of them or anything like that. No one's getting FNAF'd. But it is you do notice as people are like looking further into your particular hunch, there is a an increased rate of missing persons cases, specifically in Wellington, specifically when Drift started advertising its services here. Like it came in from overseas. It got like franchised over here, essentially. I imagine. I think that's how it works. And you notice that when that happened, the rate of missing persons cases went up by like 20%. And this would have been about 5 years ago.
Great. Hamish has got like a couple of should I go deep on this scholarship flyer and go to Drift HQ? Is it more to do? Is it more to do with Simon's hunch about this backpacker and what they were up to? And so I would like to roll to trust my gut.
Cool. Absolutely. You may do so. Go ahead and do so. This is Hamish's alternative move because Hamish is not a magic user dude. He's got other things that his weirdness can tap into. So you're going to consult your instincts about what to do next. Go ahead and roll plus weird.
Give me a second.
Absolutely. Navigating various drop-down menus on the wonderful
Roll20.
Yeah.
We're really chugging along. There we go. Trust your gut.
Nice.
And
there are no forwards or anything for that.
No. There we go. Submit.
Ooh. Okay. That is a mixed success, unless you want to use luck about it. On a mixed success, the keeper will tell you a general direction to go, and you will get a +1 forward as you explore that.
I think a general direction is all that
enough?
he needs. I think he can work with his mind once he's got his gut to put him in the
wonderful,
right
great. As you are like looking at all these various details, this web of information that you're kind of piecing together, I think you are inclined. You're looking at the way that that this situation has played out and the kind of numbers that you're coming across, and I think that you can tell that there is almost a combination of stuff going on. I think that and this is also just like from the history of what the monster hunting that you and Spelljammer did, but like Loch Ness and Key and Spelljammer have already been doing before you found out that you were brothers, before you realized that you were brothers.
Yeah.
That there is a lot of general strange and ominous things that happen in Wellington, and they have like supernatural reasons behind them. And not all of that is has been related to drift, but I think you can tell that there is some other, that whatever is causing that level of weirdness, that strange phenomena that lies underneath a lot of the strange happenings in Wellington, is something that drift has a potential to almost like tap into. And I think that your instinct on how to find out what they're doing or why they might be doing or what this is leading to is the cleanest way to get that information, is to get in touch with uh, either people that work for Drift or go to Drift HQ, which
Wonderful.
one way to get there, but there are multiple ways you might be able
Yeah.
to do so.
Yeah. Great. This is still the evening after the
This is
day.
still the evening, yeah.
Uh, is we got school tomorrow, or is it a weekend?
You have tomorrow is a Friday, so yeah, you do have school
Right.
tomorrow.
Okay. I'm gonna go to Simon's room.
Great, Simon. What have you been doing of your evening while Hamish has been going about hardcore research on the forums?
Um, I have been trying to relax.
Okay.
Simon, when I get hunches, they normally reveal something about a dangerous thing that's about to happen or is imminent. And as far as I could tell today, I had a hunch. I went to check it out, and I saw nothing. And so now I'm like, the danger could come at any time. It's kind of like that. Like it's almost like it's kind of turbocharged his anxiety, I guess. In that, like, he used to have certainty, and now it's just kind of been taken away.
Yeah.
So he's been trying to distract himself. He's been playing video games, watching videos, but he's also been taking like little tiny sips from his goblet.
Okay. Interesting. Cool. Do you think that that has actually helped at all?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
He's not in a good place. And when Hamish opens the door,
Yeah.
like when Simon drinks from this goblet, it does affect him physically, and it is normally quite visible. But because he's at home and he knows that anyone could come at any time, he's been doing it slowly and carefully.
Yeah.
So, you know, most of the rest of the family wouldn't notice, but I think that Hamish like notices that Simon's eyes are a slightly darker shade of blue than normal.
Without even knocking, Hamish bursts into the room. Hey, Nitro, you
Huh? What?
good, buddy?
Yeah. I'm fine. What's going on? What?
Are you good?
Yeah. What's the matter? I put the goblet down on the desk.
Do I know what the goblet does?
You've seen me use it at least once.
Has Simon
Okay.
explained it fully, or does Hamish just have a vague idea?
I think Simon has not explained it. Like, I think that's probably the one magic item he's never explained in full detail.
It's been seen in situ, but never fully explained.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. I'm gonna go. Rather than handing in a CV or like a "this is me" on an email, I'm gonna go rock up to Willis Street to Drift headquarters, introduce myself, go for this scholarship, and you also want a scholarship, so you're coming with me, and we are gonna waltz right into Drift HQ and figure out what is going on.
I mean that's an option. That seems very dangerous, but yep.
Why? We're just two students who would like money to study elsewhere.
Yeah, sure, okay. Have you got your belt?
Yes, I haven't taken it off.
Okay, great. And Simon starts to collect up his various magical trinkets from around the room.
Oh, I didn't. I meant tomorrow morning. Nobody's going to be in the office at the moment, right? Unless.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
right.
unless it's not actually office people, and we could go tonight. I actually hadn't considered. Oh no, Mum's got like we could walk.
All the way into town
You could get
Or
a
hustle.
ride.
from
Or
Remember,
just-
you live in Hataitai, remember? So you're
Yeah.
down for
I'm
realistic.
not walking through the tunnel.
Look, the tooting isn't that bad. You can have fun
It's
with
not the tooting; it's the fucking smell.
it. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Block your nose. I don't know.
The whole way through the tunnel. I'm not gonna not breathe the entire way
Fine.
through the
We'll
tunnel.
bus. We'll bus, buddy. Calm down. Do you want to go tonight, or do you want to do a walk right through the front door like Ocean's 11 sort of deal?
Well, I mean, I didn't really think about it, but you did make a good point that there's probably no one there. So,
Unless there are people there.
I mean, if there are people out there, they're not going to let us in.
Well, how about this? Yeah, you know, let's go. Let's rock on up. First thing tomorrow. I've got a free period. First thing. So, and you know, Miss Solinger doesn't mind if you miss another English class, right?
I'm sure it'll be okay.
Right. Exactly what a scholarship student would say. Great. I'm going to just this evening, while Mum's out, bake dessert. Make a little dessert, even though it's a little bit late, as like a little sort of apology that I forgot to fill up the car. And it'll be sticky date pudding, which is what Dad used to make a bunch.
The moment I realize this is happening, I
Yeah.
take every opportunity to eat the batter that I possibly can. I situate myself in the kitchen. I'm like on my phone, but every moment that Hamish turns his back, my hand is in the bowl.
That's
A scoop of
incredible. Okay. Yes.
That's right.
Okay. I would like Hamish, for reasons, can you please roll to protect someone? And Simon, can you please roll to help out?
Mm-hmm. That is a failure from me.
Incredible.
Of course it is.
Feel free to mark experience unless you want to use luck.
You know what? I don't want to use luck.
So I don't get a plus one dice?
This is the exact opposite of the usual Monster of the Week stream one-shot mentality where anybody on a live stream's like, I'm going to use it all over the place. Campbell's like, no, I know when I need it, I'll know.
I'll know. When I need the luck, I'll know.
Cool.
Great.
What if I get hurt? What if we get in a fight? I need to save it.
I would like to use luck. I don't think Hamish knows why, but luck is being used because he's protecting someone, and like I think just gut /
incredible
world fate is just like we'll
I love
take
that.
a bit.
Absolutely. So on a complete success from protect somebody, you get to you get some options. And I'm going to adjust the ones that are happening that are available for this particular type of protecting someone. So your options in terms of this protect someone are you can obscure some information about you from an enemy. And when I say about you, this is about you and Simon. So you can obscure some information about you from an enemy. You can avoid an instance of an adverse enemy affecting you, or you can. I will keep the one of them, which is that, or you can choose to have the enemy focus on you specifically rather than Simon, like for a longer period of time.
I think I would What was the second option? Sorry.
So the second option was like you can stop an instance or you can ignore an instance of like the enemy trying to do something adverse to you.
I would like to take the last option, the
Cool.
focus on me.
Awesome. Wonderful. The other thing that happens is for your specific use luck, as the searcher, when you spend a point of luck, your first encounter comes into play. It could be a flashback, a new occurrence, or a related event. As you are going through this, like cooking up the recipe that you said, you mentioned that like your dad cooked for you a
Mhm.
while ago, which we have not seen Dad in game for reasons. Dad is not a part of the family unit. And uh, as you are like in the process of going through this recipe, I think there's a moment where you have a like a memory recur to you for a second of your first encounter, which we referenced in the warm-up game was like a
Mm.
time when Simon got almost like magically sick, like incredibly unwell, and for some reason your dad knew what to do about it and kind of got you involved in like helping fix this with Simon.
Yeah.
um, and Simon, for most intents and purposes, does not remember. Um, and you have this distinct memory of after Simon had been on the mend, like after you'd gotten through the worst of it, and you and your dad were kind of taking a moment in your getaway that you have this like secreted room that your dad let you in on that is underneath the water whirler on the Wellington waterfront. Um, that it's like you two sitting there and just kind of watching Simon lying on a stretcher in this like on like a camping bed in this very small room, and just kind of watching him like breathing steadily for the first time in a while. And you remember your dad watching your brother and kind of sighing and like handing you a cup of tea that he'd like finally taken the time to make because you were getting to have a rest for a moment. And
Mm.
you remember him. I think he had a bit of like typical Kiwi bloke syndrome where he didn't always get super emotionally sincere. But you had a very shoulder to shoulder, deep and meaningful moment, not looking in the eyes. But he passes you a cup of tea, and as you're both looking at your brother, he says, "Just, I mean, I appreciate appreciate you helping out, Hamish. It's I should have had this handled, but just just keep an eye out for him, yeah? Don't let yourselves too much stuff around here just kind of just starts drifting apart after a while. Just make sure you stick around with each other, yeah? Make sure you keep each other close when you can. It's the most important thing around these parts."
Okay. Is he gonna be okay?
Yeah, I'm always okay. I mean, I'll be fine. Your brother will be fine, and this is just a fluke thing. He should be all right.
All right. If you
Sweet.
want a nap, you can have a nap, and I'll look after him.
Actually, uh, mm, at this point you were 13 years old, right? When this was going on,
Yeah.
ish. Or actually, no, this was 10 years ago. So you were 7 years old.
Yeah.
When this was going on. He looks at you very like, I maybe shouldn't do that, but is so obviously incredibly tired. It's like, okay, wake me up after 20 minutes, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Uh,
Um,
I don't know how to read the clock at this point in time, so I
Great, perfect. And he kind of like at that moment went and got like on the stretcher with Simon and just kind of
Oh,
big spooned with Simon.
yeah, lovely.
And that memory kind of occurs to you as you are making this dessert. Um, Lovely. Anything else you particularly want to do of your evening, or are we good to kind of time jump a bit? Sick,
Simon
cool.
has nothing else. Well, actually, no, that's not true.
Oh,
There's one thing that happens is while this is getting made, Simon goes,
yeah.
"Hang on, where's Mum?"
She went out. What is she book club maybe?
Okay.
I'm gonna look out the window. Is the car still there?
Yeah, the car's still there.
Uh,
The car hasn't been filled, right? She said she was going to do it in the morning.
you're on Mum's account on Drift, right?
Yeah.
Can you check? Open the app.
Okay. I once again have no understanding of why Hamish is asking this, but I open up the Drift app,
Sure.
and I show him what's there.
Cool. You can see that your mum got a ride with Drift, maybe like half an hour ago. Headed out to a like local lawn bowls club that you know that your grandma sometimes goes to. And at that point, you also remember that you haven't seen your grandma like all day.
Immediately gonna call Mum.
Cool. You start calling your mum, and you hear a cell phone go off upstairs in her bedroom.
Fuck.
What's the matter?
I think if we're concerned about Drift, Simon, if we're concerned about Drift, Mum just got in a drift. Grandma, as far as I'm aware, is does bingo night is on Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah, well, it's Friday tonight.
No, it's Friday tomorrow.
Tonight's Thursday.
Oh, it's Friday tomorrow.
Keep up,
Sorry.
keep up, Nitro. Fuck. Is she in danger? Is we need a. What was the destination?
It's like a local lawn bowls club.
Local to Hataitai or to Wellington?
Local to her tai, why not?
Right.
Well, okay. Okay. And I start to run up. I run upstairs to grab my magical trinkets.
Can
Cool.
I roll to trust my gut to see if I'm overreacting? Can I roll to?
Sure. Yeah,
that-
roll to trust your gut.
Slow computer.
I mean, I trust your gut
I also trust my gut.
as it is already. I'm.
I'm not gonna roll. Let's just
Okay, amazing. Sweet.
Uh,
Cool. You start grabbing all your stuff from upstairs, Simon.
Yep.
Awesome. Wonderful.
Put on the amulet. Put on the armband. I grab the goblet. I clip it to my belt with the little carabiner that I've got for it. And I run back on downstairs.
Cool.
what do you got for me?
Well, have you got your belt?
Yeah, but you got a cool, I don't know, amulet.
Okay, I start running back upstairs to go and grab this belt for him. I burst into Hamish's room. Do I see anything out of the ordinary?
Does he?
You don't see anything out of the ordinary other than like he's been
I'm looking
more...
specifically. Do I see Hamish's diary or any information about Monica Myers?
You don't see a lot of chat with Monica Myers, but you do see mixed with work chat with a Frady Cat 412 is just banter, like a lot more banter than official sightings.
Who the hell is a Frady Cat? And I'll grab the belt and run back downstairs.
Sick. Amazing. Simon, can you please roll for one of your hunches?
Yes. Sorry, I didn't have it up because I wasn't
No,
expecting
that's
to roll
okay.
so
You're in the
soon.
middle of stuff.
Yay!
Oh, buddy! Hell yeah, that's a complete success right there.
Finally, it's
I
about
know.
time.
That's my
You've been
first
so slow
straight
on
success
most of it.
game.
Amazing. So this hunches when something bad is happening, somewhere that you aren't, you get to roll, and on a 10 plus, you know where you need to go just in time to get there. As you are like heading out, down, like out of your room, downstairs, back to the kitchen, like as you are on the staircase, you have a premonition. And this time you see a similar thing to what you saw before, but you have a little bit more forewarning than previously. You see, not seeing this in first person now, seeing it like from a third person perspective. You see your mum and your grandma, very like kind of just passing conversation, like having kind of shooting the shit a little bit on the corner of like watching other people play lawn bowls. I think your grandma's like has some mobility issues, isn't really 100% on the lawn bowls team. But both of them seem to be like watching, and then you see another like quick flash of like her your mum getting up off the seat and your grandma getting up with a lot more difficulty, and you see your mum looking very concerned about that. And then goes to touch a pocket of her pants and like realizes that something's missing, and goes and taps somebody else on the shoulder, and you see them having a conversation, and the person that she talks to starts ordering a drift for her.
Yeah. All right.
You're running out the door?
Yep.
Hamish, get the car.
Sorry.
Get the car.
It's like we're like empty on gas practically. I can get the car, but
You didn't fill it up?
no, I didn't. Scholarships.
All right,
Look,
we're taking the turtle way, and I start running down the road.
Amazing. You start running. As per your hunches roll, even though something bad is happening, you manage to get there in time to stop the bad thing from happening. So the both of you sprint out from where your house is and like down the block. You've got maybe like a 15-minute walk usually that you are, well, actually probably more like a 20-minute walk. You are cutting in half to like 10 minutes of just full sprinting through Hataitai. And as you like kind of come up the crest of a hill to the plateau on which the bowling club is, you both get to the gates at the time that you, Simon, see the point of your vision where like your mum has already gotten up and you see your grandma kind of struggling to get up off the seat. It does not seem like they have tapped anybody on the shoulder yet. Both of them do see you suddenly like sprint to a stop in the entrance of the bowls club and kind of look panicked. And your mum's
I turn to Hamish and say, talk to them. And then I turn around and like duck around the corner and start taking off all my magical paraphernalia and stuffing it in my backpack.
I'm gonna go up to Grandma and help her up and like, how was your? Your competition was tonight, right? That's why Simon and I came to help support you. Your lawn bowl competition.
Hamish, you're okay. Your mum is looking very confused. Your grandma, who is a much older woman, is like letting you help her. Like has offered you her arm, but is a very like, it's fine. I can get myself up. All right. Yes. No. Oh yeah, the competition was it was fine. It wasn't much to be seen about. But no, they kicked me off the team years ago. You should be keeping up with that better. My goodness, Hamish, what are you doing? You seem like you've seen a ghost. What's going on?
We were just here to support you in your competition, but it seems we have missed the jack, so to speak.
Yeah, by a number of hours. So you. Oh, where's Simon then? Like you say, we are here, and she starts looking around for your brother.
He's slow. You know how he is. And so I beat him here.
Don't say that about your brother. Your mum kind of like taps you on the arm. seriously, are you all right? Are you out of breath?
Yeah. Yeah. No, we ran here. We thought we'd missed it, and
I wanna walk
obviously we
over.
had. So we sprinted to get here.
Yeah.
Simon, you
Simon.
okay?
Yeah, sorry we're late.
Right.
We just missed you so much that we felt we had to come and see you.
Roll to manipulate someone. And I would say if you want to, Hamish, you could also help out with this role if it will tip things over. That's a failure, unless you want to use
No.
luck. But also, it's such a failure
Oh,
that help out will not
Hamish,
necessarily
you think
be
I should
much.
use luck here?
Mm,
Frankly,
ultimate when manipulating an elderly woman, and you want to use luck on this roll.
Essential. These are the key moments we save our luck for when you're playing Monster of the Week.
look,
I
look,
use my luck to lie to the elderly.
I do because I don't want my grandma to freak out and be worried about us. Yeah, I'm gonna use my luck on this.
Amazing! Incredible. Okay, 100%. So you are you are playing off this situation with you just missed your mum and your grandma so much that you had to run down here. Um, Incredible. You say that, and yet again, Simon, this is the second time today you've gotten a look of oh, from an older woman of just oh, you seem like you're in a bit of a frail place. But your mum kind of pushes your hair back from your face and kind of puts her hands on your cheeks oh boy, come here, gives you a big cuddle. And even your grandma seems very quietly chuffed. She's not a big physical affection lady, but she's kind of well, all right then.
We're in
Okay,
public.
why are your fingers sticky?
What?
That
What are you been up
is to be revealed at a later date to celebrate your assumed lawn bowl victory.
All right. Well, that didn't quite pay out, but it can be commiseratory instead.
Yes, whatever it might be.
All right. Should we go?
Yes.
Like a walking bus.
Yes, a walking bus. That's an excellent idea, Grandma. Oh, no, Mum. That's Mum.
Yeah, that's Mum. Grandma would be more begrudging about it, but is just at the level of I'm not going to complain, and for Grandma, that's very good because Simon has done such a good job of convincing you that you just wanted to spend time with your grandma. She's like, it's going to be a bit of a mission, but I'm just going to be okay with it, and that's huge for Grandma.
Right.
Incredible. Yes.
As we leave, I go, let me help you, Grandma, and I just put my hand on her arm, and I am going to jinx her.
Ooh,
And
okay.
Jinx is written as a generally negative sounding thing, but part of the ability is that you can give people a bonus.
This is true.
I am going to use my Jinx.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Incredible. That's a complete
Lie to the elderly. Jinx the elderly.
No. Hang on. So I hold 2. Now I can hold this till whenever I want. Is that right? Or
you can, correct.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna
you
use one of the hold right now on my grandma to make it easier for her to walk home.
Aw, that's extremely lovely. Oh, I love that. Wonderful. You could absolutely do that. Incredible. And yes, you get another hold for other features that you can hold on to for later on. I will say probably you would need to use the rest of that Jinx by the end of the day.
Oh yeah, I have plans.
Does that seem fair? Yep, cool. All right. Wonderful. You'll walk home to enjoy a lovely sticky toffee pudding that is possibly still in the oven, so it's maybe a bit of a brisk walk.
Yes.
But
when it comes to cutting the sticky date pudding,
yes,
I want to use my Jinx.
Great.
Because I'm encouraging coincidences to occur the way that you want. I'm going to use it on Hamish to have him accidentally give me the largest slice.
Love it. Incredible. Incredible flawless use. I love that. Amazing.
Simon may not know
You
what supernatural powers he's dealing with, but he certainly knows how to use them for good.
absolutely how to use them like a true younger brother. Incredible. Sweet. So you'll uh continue you get to have a lovely evening at home with your family unit, enjoying a lovely dessert that you've cooked perfectly well. Even like the your mother, you can tell, gets a little bit of a like a welcome sentimentality about her having getting to enjoy this particular dessert again for the first time in a while. Wonderful. Unless there are any interruptions, I'm going to say let's time skip to tomorrow morning.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Great. You said you wanted to do stuff in the morning. Does that mean you are not going to school? Or are you going really early?
I have claimed that I have a free
You have.
period
True, that's
first thing in the
true.
morning, and I'm making my brother skip class.
Wonderful. Great. You don't have the car because the car needs to be refueled, and your mum said she was going to do that. So you are going to have to walk all the way over to Willis Street. So it might be more like mid-morning that you end up getting over there, depending on like when you're leaving. It's probably going to, well, actually, walking from Hataitai to Willis Street, it's like an hour-ish. Depending on things. But
Yes. Yeah.
yes, so what time are you wanting to get to Willis Street?
9:10.
9:10. Sweet. Awesome. You rock up to Drift HQ. Drift is for all intents and purposes, they are one of the not massive, but one of the few considered skyscrapers for Wellington standards. They're basically, their headquarters is like the Aeon building, but it's all a Drift building. So a huge rectangular, like mirror-plated windows all the way around, has the huge iconic Drift logo on the front of it. And as you get into the well, are you going in, or are you wanting to prepare anything before you head inside? You know that there is like a reception, and basically the easiest way to get to any floor is to go up elevators.
I'm because I actually have the time to prepare at this time.
Yeah.
I'm going to put on my magical trinkets.
Nice.
But I'm actually going to be able to. I'm actually going to hide them under my clothes.
Cool.
Yeah,
so
that they're not visible. But
yeah.
That being said, they are still quite bulky, so I do still like if anyone is paying enough attention, they'll be like, "You've got something under your shirt." Like I'm not really expecting to get it past security, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just so that people don't notice that I'm wearing something distinctly ancient and strange.
Yeah, for sure.
The only one I probably can't hide is the goblet, so I'm just going to keep that in my bag.
For sure. I will say as well, like, as you are like making sure that all these items are kind of well placed and hidden away in different places under your clothes, there is a level of nervousness that you still have not managed to overcome when it comes to this day. And even just like the odd person that is walking in and out of the building, you can't help but feel a little creeping of paranoia that like everybody in this building is giving you a second glance, even though you're sure that you've done a good job. Like you feel very watched. But that is Simon specifically, not necessarily you, Hamish. But are you wanting to prepare anything as well before heading in here?
I fill in the rest of my flyer, and I make I fill in architecture on potentially what you want to study, and
Great.
I make Simon fill out one as well.
Wonderful.
Why do I have to?
Because we're here as model scholarship students to talk to Mr. Drift, Winston Drift. I know that no, he doesn't own the place, but Mr. Drift.
Winston Myers would be his name because it's Monica Myers.
Winston Myers, yes. And talk to Mr. Drift and figure out how to get money to go overseas.
I've barely started high school. I'm not exactly a
You're
scholarship.
proactive. You're a go-getter. You're Simon fucking Kemp. You know?
Okay, but can I? But also, why would you want to move overseas?
Um. Change your pace. Uh. You can pick. You can think of your own
Hamish,
reason
no,
for that.
what do you mean?
Uh. Um. We can. Hey, buddy. We can dive into that
You,
when we're not
you
uncovering
hang on.
disappearances in the rideshare
You
market.
can't just leave us all behind.
I wouldn't leave you all. I wouldn't. I'm I would call, and it wouldn't be forever, and it
Oh yeah, because calling
I
is the
just
same thing as being in Wellington.
well, no, it's not, but I didn't think we were going to broach this topic so soon.
Yeah,
Uh
you're the one that keeps bringing it up.
but this is for the mission that this is pretend. We're pretending that we want these. We're pretending that we want these scholarships.
Sure.
Great. Um. Yeah. Have a think
Simon, do
about
you
that.
fill one in?
No.
Cool. Alrighty. Are you gonna go in and just assume that Simon will do it? Like, are you plowing ahead or are you waiting
Uh,
until?
I think uh, at this point, Hamish is like, I cannot continue to ask
Mm-hmm.
Simon to do this without
Absolutely.
broaching certain topics that Hamish does not want to broach.
Yeah, for sure. Wonderful. Cool. So you'll walk in. Yes, as mentioned, there is like the reception desk. There is an obvious like terminal for like people that have already swiped cards that would automatically get them access to certain floors. But there are a couple of receptionists behind the desk who kind of look up at you as you walk in and look a bit confused because they're not used to teens. They're used to teens moving through this building, not
Yeah.
to reception. But you see one of them kind of looks up and says, good morning. Welcome to Drift. How may I help you today?
Morena, ma'am. My name is Hamish Kemp. This is my brother Simon Kemp. We're
My arms
both
are crossed and I am not saying a word.
Cool.
we are both incredibly interested in this Drift scholarship program that Mr. Cooper came and talked with us yesterday about. So much so that we figured we'd introduce ourselves in person and would like to talk to perhaps somebody behind this so we can get a better idea of what the Drift scholarship looks like. By the way, I'm a big user of your app. I love using Drift, and all your drivers are lovely.
Bullshit.
Incredible. Wonderful. Hamish, go ahead and roll to manipulate someone. And weirdly enough, because of the choice that you made with your protect somebody, Simon is not currently giving you a negative to this roll.
That's a success.
Oy!
That's a
That is
success.
complete success. Incredible. Amazing. So they'll do it for the reason that you gave them. If I ask too much, they'll tell you the minimum it would take for them to do it. I think they do like the receptionist seems like surprised but receptive,
Yeah.
to the fact that like you're showing off your go-getter nature by showing up with your form. She does ask to like take the form from you for a second. Like that
Hand it
you
over.
hand in and kind of has a look over it, and kind of reads over some stuff. It's like, oh, interesting. Okay. And the both of you are students, or are you just shadowing for like auditing for when you get up to that level of classes? She's asking you, Simon, whether
Yeah.
you have a form.
No, I'm
Cool.
just here with
Absolutely.
my brother.
And Of course, I can certainly call up and see whether or not they might be available for you. Sorry, who was it that you said that you wanted to reach out to?
Uh,
Yeah, who
would
was
love to
it,
talk
Hamish?
more. So, what do you say?
Who was it, Hamish?
It was. I would love to talk more with Mr. Cooper. If I would have read the flyer. Was there a name, a
Yes.
further name on it, or would Mr. Cooper
No,
be
so it
the?
seems like Mr. Cooper is the one that is in charge of the scholarship program in particular. And yeah, the only other person that you know that might work here would be like Monica's dad.
Yeah. Okay. I'd love to talk more with Mr. Cooper.
Mhm.
He was so charming, and
Mhm.
the presentation at the school yesterday really moved me.
She is, huh? Okay. Absolutely. I'll call you up one moment. And she gets on the phone, and you hear her like talking over to Mr. Cooper for a second. And says, "Oh well, yeah. Right. Well, perhaps they just showed up late. They said that they were interested. Well, actually, they're trying to get involved with the scholarship program. Right. I mean, they're here. Are you all right for me to send them up? Anyways, if you're already in the middle of a presentation. Okay. But okay, wonderful, great. Um, okay, I'll send them up in a sec. Great. Puts the phone down. Says, of course, I will get the elevator straight up to level 8 for you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Great.
Presentation's already happening, is it?
Yes, some other classmates have already, people that have already filled in their forms and handed them back. They were already selected for just some one-on-one advising about what the scholarship has in store.
Cool. Great. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Of course, we'd
Um,
hate for you to miss anything, so go ahead.
as we're walking to the elevator, I'm going to go
Mhm.
to
Yeah,
Simon.
the second we turn away,
Mhm.
uh, I say, "Really moved, were you?"
Simon, I'm trying my best to get us into the den of whatever this entity is, and you're frankly not helping. Would love a little bit of support here, buddy. Um, uh, you know, it's not. It's a cooperative thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. As we get into the lift,
Yeah.
the moment the doors close, is it just
Mhm.
us?
It's
Or is
just
there
you
a
two.
section coming?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's
The,
like automatically, usually you'd have to swipe and press the button, but it is automatically heading you up to level 8.
the second the doors close, I pull out my amulet and start to cast a spell.
Woo!
Um, I would like to use magic.
Yeah.
I have concerns that people are being controlled or their minds are being affected in some way based on the stuff
Sure.
that we've talked about. So I'm going to cast a spell trying to ward us against the effects of manipulation, of like
Yeah.
magic that manipulates us, or any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, I feel like it's the kind of thing that like this takes a little bit of time to cast, and so I'm
Mhm.
really pushing it by doing it in the elevator.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm going to stand in front of like spot a camera in the elevator and just stand in front of Simon.
yeah. Amazing. Cool. So that is a mixed success for your use magic, which means that you get to do the thing that you're trying to do, but you also have a glitch. You can, unless you want to use luck about it, but you also get a
Uh,
glitch.
don't see why I would use luck for this.
Cool. You have a glitch
Um,
that you get to pick. So of your options, you got the effect is weakened. It's of a short duration. You immediately take 1 harm, ignore armor. Your magic draws immediate unwelcome attention, or it has a problematic side effect.
Um, do I know that this glitch has happened?
Uh, you might discover that it's happened, but the choice of what is happening is more of a player decision than a character decision.
Yes,
Does that
yeah,
make
yeah.
sense?
It's more like a thing of like, does Simon in the moment realize that his spell isn't the full effect? I guess.
Your spell is the effect of your spell is still taking place. It just might change
Yes.
like the duration, or if you choose for
But
it to
like,
be weakened or a short duration. Yes, you would know that.
okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, I think in this instance,
Hmm.
it is shorter than he intended.
Cool, awesome. Wonderful. So it has a
Uh,
shorter duration.
because I'm rushing in the elevator, I don't
Yeah.
set it up properly, and I'm like, that'll do.
Yeah. Awesome. And what does this look like as you cast this magic over
Yeah.
yourself and your brother?
Simon pulls out his amulet and traces his finger along the runes on the face of it. They begin to glow a purple light. And once all of the runes on the amulet are fully glowing, he pulls at it, and the rune on the surface of the amulet, the glowing part, comes away with his hand.
Mm.
And he then uh, pulls on it, pulls it apart, and it expands to fill the entire room of the elevator before diffusing around him and Hamish.
Amazing. Love that. And I think this is also playing into your protecting Simon from earlier. Hamish is just you are standing so that if any camera is spotting the face, it is just yours rather than
Yeah.
Simon's while this whole thing's going on.
Yeah.
Kind of unavoidable for the camera to catch it at some point.
Yes.
But they might not be able to work out who set that off accurately.
Before the elevator opens, I'm going to go to Simon. Look, we will talk about it once we're out of the building, but can we please put it to the side for now?
And we can talk about it when you're out of the country.
Ooh,
Uh,
cool. The elevator doors open, and you see a man with in modern business casual, so capri pants and business shirt and undercut, is waiting for you as the doors open up. It's like, hi, welcome to Drift. I hear that you were part of some of the scholarship kids that we didn't quite get in the mix when you first popped in.
oh, no, not me. Him.
Yes, no, hi. Hamish Kemp. My brother here, Simon, is late for his kindergarten class, and I will be dropping him off after the presentation.
Right. Okay. Wait, kindergarten?
Yeah,
It was.
I'm here looking after him. He's he's gotten to the stage where his memory started to go. So, you know how it
Gotcha.
is.
Yeah, I get it.
I was wondering if you
it.
had a room for like mothers and their children that we could put Simon in, so
we
that
do have a
he
creche
could
on
he could
site. I mean, it's not on
work
this
out
floor, but
his
yeah, we do.
emotions by putting shaped blocks inside shaped holes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. Well, we do have childcare services on site, but not on this floor. Not for teenagers. I'm guessing that's the vibe I'm picking up.
Ah, drat! I guess you're gonna have to watch Coco Melon, Simon.
Right this way. We're just in the meeting room down the corner. And he kind of starts walking you through.
The
Yes.
second he turns away, better than another fucking Korra rerun.
As you start walking through, you are in the most cardboard cutter office environment you have ever seen. Not even any kind of color customization of the upholstery. It is just pretty muddy grays and standard plastic wood paneling as far as the eye can see. A number of those standard pinboard cubicles around the place. At least some people seem to have a decent camera setup, a decent monitor setup, but it is also very quiet. There is no office chit chat going on in this space. And as you are walking through these rows, Simon, you also see this place is the most desaturated you have seen this many people be in, because all of the cubicles are filled and there is no color to any of them. And as you are led through this place, you're led past the kitchenette, led past a couple of meeting rooms, and as you get to a bigger kind of boardroom at the end of this section, you see there's a boardroom, and then there are like a couple of doors of more like executive offices.
Mhm.
And in the boardroom, you can see Mr. Cooper is currently giving a PowerPoint presentation to about 5 kids that you recognize from school. Not that many. One of them you do recognize is a person called Tim Groves, who is on your is part of the Mansfield Mowers, as I decided, which is your football team. Is like one of the members of your team. But the other ones you don't specifically recognize. Really, they aren't. They must not go in the same like social circles as you, or they might be in different years. But you can see that there's about 5 of them there that Mr. Cooper is talking to.
Cool.
Are they roughly what ages are they?
They are on the older side, but they are all they're all kids that are at NCEA level, so they're all like 11, 12, year 11, 12, 13. So
Yeah.
it'd be like 15, 16, 17, 18 years old.
So yeah, okay. All older than me.
Yeah. And that's Moas, MOAS chat, just FYI.
But this level is a mower on a mower.
Yeah, a mower on a mower.
and their school chant is meh.
Wonderful. I'm gonna go just give Simon the signal of like look around, and then go take a seat in front of a presentation, grab out my notebook, and like start sitting there very attentively.
Cool.
I roll my eyes both sarcastically, but also like to indicate that I'm looking.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh yeah. Cool. Okay, so you're gonna Hamish, you were popping into the presentation. Simon, you're splitting off to go look elsewhere.
Yeah, so
Wonderful.
the person that's led us here, are they just leaving us, or
they have like opened up the doorway to get like let you inside the conference room. And as you like as the door is opened up, you can hear Mr. Cooper on the inside saying, "We have a lot of very interesting business opportunities when it comes to drift. Obviously, this is something you might not, but if you do end up going into engineering or software work, you might find that this company is quite a good place to put your investments." It is like going off on another drift pitch before going into like the scholarship info, and seems like a little bit confused to see the two of you like getting led in, and the guy that led you in here is just like, Daryl, just a couple more. You good? Yeah, you got this, mate. Cool. And then kind of closes the door and sort of gives a thumbs up through the glass walls, and then leaves you there with him.
Yeah, I mean, if he's gesturing for us to go in, / opening the door for us, I'm going in. I'm not gonna
sweet. Cool.
break social contract and make him suspicious.
Cool. You are in the conference room with a collection of kids, and Mr. Cooper is in the middle of giving this presentation of going over various different drift perks and such. Are you all wanting to sit through the whole presentation, or are you wanting to interrupt it all or do other stuff?
I want to be like, sorry, Mr. Cooper, you mentioned that drift has some eco-friendly alternatives to their normal drift cars. Can you tell us more about that? Hoping to get him to go on a tangent so I can talk to Tim.
Cool. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Cool. Yeah, he's... Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, we've tried to get into solar paneling for cars, the sort of kinetic wave movement. Absolutely. Goes off on a tangent. No need to even roll for it. Happy to do so. He seems honestly a little bit relieved to be talking about like concrete science facts and not PR spiel. That he's like, yes, absolutely. And he is very clearly distracted.
Hey Tim, bro, how's it going? I didn't know you were into this sort of scholarship stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I thought I'd give it a go. I mean, see what's up. What are y'all doing? What is Simon doing here?
Oh, he's a real look, he wet his pants in class, and so immediately had to take him home from school. I know. Please spread that around our friend group.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Anyway, but so he's here. We've got him a change of pants, but we had this meeting already. Does Tim seem at all off or anything?
Roll to read a bad situation.
That's, of all the things that we've said to or about each other, getting someone to spread a rumor about Simon,
that you wet yourself.
like the absolute, that's so ruthless.
There you go. That's a complete success, which means you get a hold of 3 that you can use throughout this current interaction,
Right.
or throughout this scene. And while you're acting on that information, you get a +1 ongoing to act on this relevant info. So you got what's your best way in, what's your best way out? Are there any dangers you haven't noticed yet? What's the biggest threat? What's the most vulnerable to me? And what's the best way to protect the victims?
Are there any dangers we haven't noticed yet?
Yeah, for sure. There are dangers that you have not noticed, but I think that there are specific dangers that you have not seen yet. I think they are potentially ones that you might have had in your mind implicitly, that you're not supposed to be here. So if anybody from if anybody double checks any sort of information about this situation, they are going to know that and get you kicked out pretty quickly. I think also you and Simon similarly, and you might not have had a moment to let each other know this because you're in the middle of a tiff, but you are both feeling that instinct of both of your sort of something bad is happening here triggers. The moment just before you would trust your gut, or the moment just before a hunch would take place, both of you are kind of feeling that moment inside you almost ticking over, but not quite. And I think you also know that in terms of dangers that you haven't noticed, I think you get an inherent feeling that it is dangerous that Mr. Cooper knows you're here, or that the company knows that you're here. And it is dangerous if you were to spend an extended amount of time in this office. That also seems dangerous to you. And not so much from I don't think you can see anything specific. I will let you know if you get to something specific, but it's more in that same way of the car ride was kind of dangerous. You feel just spending time in this kind of environment for a prolonged amount of time isn't great for people.
Yeah. Okay. Can I ask what's the what's the best way to protect the victims apply here, or do they don't seem kind of victimized?
I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you who you want to classify for that as victims.
Great. True, that's a great question.
If what's the best way to keep yourself safe? What's the best way to keep people working here safe? I don't know it depends on what you're asking about. You might not have as solid an idea of the issue to know exactly who needs to be safe.
In that case,
but you can also hold on to these questions if you want to use them later on.
I would love to do that later.
Yeah, for sure. As you're talking to Tim as well, you do also clock that him and the other students in the room seem like they've got a swag bag. They've got some loot, some cool gear from Drift.
What'd you get? What'd you luck out on?
Oh yeah, no, Monica's dad hooked us up. His office is down the hall, so he recognized some of us. There's got cool it's disposable phone. There's a cool pop socket, stuff like that. It's all branded, so it's but it's pretty sweet. They got a water bottle and stuff, and he starts showing you a bunch of different
can
bits
I
and pieces.
pick it out and go to grab the bag?
Yeah, for sure. Simon, are you wanting to do anything while your brother is having this conversation?
I was about to pass it to Simon.
Oh, sick! Nice.
Yeah, but just prior to
here's
that,
some toys to play with.
Just prior to that moment, I'm looking around the room, particularly for anything that appears more desaturated than
For
other
sure.
stuff.
Absolutely. Go ahead. In this case, I would say roll to investigate a mystery.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a failure.
We
This morning
are
is luck.
continuing this tradition as we always are.
Cannonball.
Have you gotten another improvement at this point? You must be pretty
Yes,
close.
I have.
Yeah.
I also, yeah. Let's. You know what? Simon's like looking around the room,
Mhm.
can't help but feel that he's just not getting anything. So he just takes a moment to on his ponder on the new site that he obtained a couple months back,
Mm-hmm.
and what that might mean, and how it works as he's looking around. And he's going to take an extra weird.
Nice.
Um, yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, cool. So you, uh, as you try to investigate a mystery, um, you you also similar thing, potentially reveal some information to your enemy.
Mhm.
Um, incredible. You go to try and have a look around the room, and while your brother is like talking to Tim and kind of getting the lowdown on that situation, you Simon uh hear a very light knock on the door, and you see that the dude that led you in here is back, and he kind of looks at you through the door and kind of like gestures.
Okay. I opened the door and I hit outside. I'm like,
Hey, hey, bud. Sorry. Real quick, I so appreciate you being here, but we did actually want to check in with something because obviously you're a little bit younger. So we just wanted to run some stuff past our usual like security and make sure that everything's on the up and up. Do you mind coming with me?
well, I'm here with my brother.
Oh yeah, for sure. Not gonna leave the floor. It's literally just the room down here.
Um, in this moment,
Yeah.
Simon like clicks over on his head and he's like, I'm just a little kid. I can't leave my brother. Um, Mum always said that I should never go away with strangers, and you're a stranger.
Hmm. Well, I'm Scott, so we're not strangers anymore. Um,
No, no, they told me that's not how it works. And if you have candy, I shouldn't take it.
um, you
You have got have, have you got candy though?
no. And you see
I
that
mean, I absolutely shouldn't go with you.
he looks over your shoulder and at the door that he was pointing at, and you see that the door is open. And because of various events and timelines, um, I think that what might occur to some other people doesn't necessarily occur to Simon. The main thing that you notice when the door opens up is standing in the doorway in like a pretty well pressed
Oh my
suit,
god.
um, with like an average businessman haircut, and maybe like it just still seems in pretty good shape. Um, is your dad?
Sorry, my dad?
Yeah,
Is that the direction the person was pointing me in?
yeah, that was the room that he was pointing you towards.
How far away is my dad?
He's like a couple of rooms down the hall. He's like barely any distance.
Okay, and this person was, yeah, they were taking me to that same room.
Yeah, they were planning on taking you there. That was where they were trying to get you to go.
On second thoughts, you probably have candy somewhere, so let's go.
Incredible, great. You walk into the room.
Yeah, I walk over to my dad.
Cool.
First thing.
You walk over to your dad. Your dad is also like fully desaturated from what you can see, like on
Um,
like gut instinct.
I yell at the top of my lungs, "What the hell are you doing here?" And I punch him in the stomach. as 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 hard as my little 14-year-old arm can muster.
Incredible. Roll to kick some ass, which we haven't done
Yeah.
before. Because you're
Oh,
just straight up punching this guy.
it's an 8. It's a
It's an
mixed
8, so that's a
success.
mixed success.
That is shockingly
Incredible.
good for Simon. I'm not gonna
So
lie.
you, on a mixed success, you inflict harm on them, and they always inflict harm on you. That's just how combat works in this system. This is just a punch, though, right?
Yeah, I
Cool.
yeah no, I'm trying to hurt him.
Yeah, for sure. Amazing. I think you punch him, like unknowingly, like unaware of the amount of just like paraphernalia you maybe had on under a glove of some kind. So you actually think that you did like a point of harm, which is not standard for like 13-year-old punching. And as you do so, you feel this you feel this weird like reverberation effect. Like as you punch this thing, it's almost like punching if on one aspect it feels like punching a person, on another one it feels more like punching like a water balloon. Like you're punching against something that kind of like ripples out from that. And as it does so, you don't. Well, you do technically have to take harm. So I'm going to say you take 1 point of harm, not from your dad, but from the dude that led you in here, as he kind of just like roughhouses you a little bit, gets you inside the office door, and shuts the door behind you.
Cool. I do have a question. Do we
yes.
still have the harm from our last session?
You do not. You do not have the harm from
Right,
your last
cool.
session. You are healed for that. It's been 2 months. You're golden. But Hamish, you absolutely hear a yell from outside of the conference room, and like Tim also kind of looks over your shoulder a little bit. It's like, is everything all right?
Not even gonna like address Mr. Cooper or anybody else in the
Mhm.
room. I'm gonna like bust out the door and
Cool.
look down the hallway.
Cool. You see, yeah, I would say so. You see, the moment that the door closes on an office of Winston Myers.
Okay. I'm going to rock on up to the door.
What are you doing inside once you get like shoved inside, Simon? The your dad that like you punched is kind of like takes a bit of a step back and kind of starts going back behind the desk a bit. And the guy that brought you in here, Scott, is like, okay, would you please
You've been
calm down?
hiding here this whole time. I'm ignoring Scott entirely. You've been hiding here this whole time. You know, Mum was distraught when you left.
Scott is looking at you so confused. This is the kind of stuff that you're hearing through the door, Hamish, as you are approaching it. And likewise, your dad seems very confused. It's like, what? Look, we need to have a conversation because you are.
You're not going to acknowledge
Too...
this in any way?
I'm sorry.
Is the door locked?
You bastard! And I punch him again.
The door doesn't seem to be locked.
I'm gonna open the door.
Cool. You open the door. You're gonna try and punch him again. Roll
Yeah.
to I mean, currently you're being like sort of restrained by Scott. Are you wanting to punch Scott or just break out and try and punch your dad?
It's all directed at my dad.
Sweet. Okay, cool. Go ahead and roll to act under pressure then and see if you can bust out of being held back.
Sure. That is an 8.
Okay, big success. You you can, but you will like you will lose one of your various artifacts on your person that will give you a -1 on your next like magical based thing.
That's not happening. I'm gonna
Cool.
take
All right. Oh, you're gonna use a luck?
Yep.
Sick. This is what they're for, baby. Incredible. So you bust out of that, and like as the door opens up, Hamish, you start to see this moment like in bullet time slow motion as you're reacting to it. You see Scott who I think probably just gets like side elbowed to like get so that Simon can get free of him. As Simon is like starting to move across the office towards a person that when the door first opens was kind of like hunched over and then stands up more to full height. Now you, being the older brother, have a better idea of what your dad looked like when you last saw him. And now that you're looking at this person in the office, it's undeniable that he looks a lot like your dad, but there's something to his face that is just not quite right. And your brother is like in the process of going to punch him. Roll to kick some ass, Simon.
Absolutely. It's a success.
It's a complete success. Incredible. So furious. Cool. So on a complete success, you get to add an extra effect. So you either get +1 forward or you give +1 forward to another hunter. You inflict terrible harm, you suffer less harm, or you force them where you want them.
Okay. Simon wants to inflict terrible harm, but I feel like he doesn't actually have the strength to achieve that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So instead, I'm just going to take the you suffer 1 less harm.
Oh, nice. Absolutely. You run up to this guy again and like punch him straight in the gut, and you see he kind of like still is not fighting back massively because he doesn't like is not suddenly going into a fist fight with a child. But you see him like takes another blow and kind of starts like holding an arm out to just kind of try and keep you back. But isn't doing any harm to you as you inflict another harm against him. Hamish, what are you doing in this moment?
I think Hamish is a bit stunned. In the sense that like he's seen his dad and all the implications that has, that it's not really his dad, and then seeing Simon wreak havoc on not dad's gut. And so I think is going to like try and get in the middle of them and like
go.
Whoa! So whoa! Like stand back to
Yeah.
Air quotes dad.
I'm gonna say roll to protect someone, and this is just to protect both sides of this situation to just get it to stop. But roll to protect someone.
No, I don't need to do that. Hey Campbell, you might not have a camera, but your computer works.
Oh no!
No, here we go.
Okay.
Oh, I see. In terms of the roll.
That's a mixed success. Cool. So you protect them okay, but you're going to suffer some or all of the harm they were going to get. Is Simon just going ham?
He's trying to, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. I think in getting in the middle of them, Hamish, you accidentally clock a stray punch from Simon. You take 1 point of harm as like Simon goes to strike out at this guy again, and you manage
I
to
don't
get
think it
in
was
between
accidental.
them.
I think he was like fully seeing a punch coming. It doesn't matter. Like he's gonna take the hit.
Absolutely.
Hamish, what the hell are you doing?
Calm down.
Scott in the background is like, I'm going to go and call security.
Dad's been hiding here the entire time.
He's out of the room.
What
are you talking about?
Turn around and face not Dad. What's Dad's name? What do we know Dad's name?
Would be Winston.
Dad's name is Winston.
Oh wait, your actual dad?
Actual dad.
Your actual dad is Nathan.
Nathan, okay.
Yeah.
What is your name?
What is going on here?
What is your name?
Winston Myers. What's your name?
What?
Hamish, right? Hamish and Simon, you just showed up at the reception?
Yeah. How long have you been working here?
What does that have? How does then whatever that answer is give you any right to come into my office and suddenly start throwing punches?
He's lying to try and get out of it. He's lying to avoid his responsibility.
Simon, that's not Dad. Or
You
at
mean it's
least
not
if it
dead?
is, he's different.
What do you mean?
It's like Gherkin and Pickle.
Which is very thematically relevant for the reference chat. It's a warm-up game thing. It's very thematic.
He looks almost like Dad. Like Pickle looked almost like Gherkin. Like the Uber drivers looked almost like uh their pictures.
I want to
That's
examine him closer with my sight and
Yeah, go
see
for it.
whether I can spot, like we encountered with Gherkin and Pickle.
Yeah,
Is there any sign of any particles on him?
go for it.
Um,
Roll to investigate a mystery.
sure.
A bit of a gherkin.
I think we all know what's about to happen, though.
Probably.
Oh!
Oh, you might
Never
not need.
mind. It's a success. Can I turn that into a failure and take a
Ooh.
luck back?
Ooh. No. That's
Okay.
sadly not how that works. Getting a luck back is an advanced improvement that you sometimes can get. After you've taken 5 improvements, you get advanced improvements, which can give you a luck back. But sadly, no.
Gotcha.
But that is still a complete success. So you get a hold of 2 that you can ask about this current situation. If I would also say the question that you're currently asking, I would include under what sort of creature is it as well. Of like, does this have relevance to a
Sure.
creature we've seen in the past situation?
Because I have to
actually,
hold 2,
I've got an
right?
ability that does
Yeah.
that as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sweet. You take a moment to like fully focus in your sight on this, and everything. When you are fully focusing like with your magic, you get that that purplish like tint to it again. That is just your like magic viewing these kinds of things. And you see, looking at this person, you start to go into that almost X-ray vision, or like starting to see if there are any like magical components to the things that make them up.
Mhm.
And you, looking deeply at this person, see 2 things. You see, unmistakably, this person is swarming with the same kind of particles. That same thing where you saw particles being taken from one person and being used to make up something else. This person in front of you is like swarming with them, is entirely made up of this similar type of particle. And in addition to that, you see this additional like amber shimmer that you spot every now and again amongst your magic that you see almost like a wave is is moving across this person in the same way that you can also see it moving. You can see it moving from Hamish to this person, and from Hamish to you, and from underneath your shirt from a memory in a necklace that you stole not that long ago, from that to this person.
I'm gonna, before like noticing this wave and
Mm-hmm.
out of concern that the memory will go,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take the memory out of my necklace and eat it.
Incredible, great, wonderful, amazing. You like conjure up the memory, like pulling it from this artifact and just in like consume it into your person. And you like uh almost as if you are remembering it in the middle of the moment, you have this kind of background view in your brain of this time when that you didn't previously know about or remember, when you were incredibly sick as a very young child, and you remember a very young Hamish and your dad looking after you in your secret getaway. You realize that that interaction is like how you ended up finding the place in the first place. You just kind of had an instinct to go there because of this interaction, and you now consuming this memory have the are on the same page as Hamish that this guy looks a lot like your dad, but not quite like your dad. And you suspect, with your investigator mystery thing, that the sort of creature that this person is made up of things that used to make up your dad, but is not your dad.
I know that this isn't like part of the investigator mystery questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's what Simon wants to know.
Yeah.
Which is, if this person is made up of parts of my dad,
Yeah.
can I undo that and bring my dad back?
Yeah. In getting this memory of that whole interaction, I'm going to say you also get a memory of the memory that your brother had earlier when he was making dessert, of when your dad was saying to him that, like, staying together is the thing that can help people from drifting away. And I think deep down in your deepest of hunches, you know that if you tried hard enough and maybe did a big enough magic about it, you could bring him back. And when I say you, I mean the both of you could bring him back. What do you all want to do?
That's not Dad. Dad is somewhere across the sea, hunting monsters and fighting the good fight. This
I
is
look up
Monica's dad.
Hamish. There are tears streaming down my face. And I say, I know. But Dad's not across the sea either. He's gone. But we can bring him back. We can bring him back. And I turn to look at Winston.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if this is a magical effect that I can use, but actually no, it is. I would like to use my magic to trap a specific person, minion or monster.
Incredible. Wonderful. You can absolutely try to do that. Go ahead and roll to use magic.
Way ahead of you. It's a success.
That's a complete success, buddy. How are you going about trapping Winston? I'm assuming. Surprise, it's Hamish.
I hold out my right hand
Mm-hmm.
and twist it, and as I do, these like metallic like shards burst out of my wrist from the armlet,
Mm-hmm.
and form an almost like cage around him.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like thick like iron bars or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But they are like they are quite thin and painful to the touch.
Mm-hmm. Great. All these bars appear around Winston, who looks equally still confused and now concerned. In the background, you can hear the sounds of like Scott on a call calling the security up here. And you hear Winston be like, what is going on? What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here on this trip. What is happening?
He's got all of Dad's memories. His well, not his memories, but his essence. And I rip off my amulet and I give it to Hamish. And I'm like, it's I need you to help me because we don't have enough time if security is coming.
Enough time to do what?
And
that was my question.
To get Dad back. and I'm going to turn to the door and I'm going to cast another spell, which is
Mm-hmm.
to bar a place or portal to a specific person or type of creature.
Yeah, hell
And
yeah.
I am just trying to bar the door with my magic.
Cool. Go
Um,
ahead and use magic.
absolutely. It's an advanced success.
That's another
Uh,
complete success. All
look,
of the like perception absolute failures are being made up for. Now Simon's
oh
doing what
yeah.
he's good at.
Simon has no awareness whatsoever, but when it comes to magic, he knows what's going on. Um, once again, places his hand on the door. These shards burst out of the armlets and shatter the door into pieces, and replace it with this like shimmering silver and purple barrier that it kind of is in essence made up of like extremely fine fibers that kind of slice anything that comes into contact with them.
Yeah. Amazing. This like magical protective barrier shows up. Winston still looks extremely concerned. It's like, listen, kids, I don't know what it is that you think is going on here, but what you're even doing, but I need you to stop and I need you to just calm down. We can
Uh,
talk this out, okay?
what am I meant to do with this? What do you want me to do with this?
Uh, I'm like still focusing on the door and making sure it's like it's solid as Hamish
Mm-hmm.
is saying that. But I yell out. I'm like, we need to call to the essence of him that you that isn't that's the essence of Dad that's still inside him.
What have you given me? A bracelet?
I've given you my amulet.
Like amulet.
Okay. Hamish is gonna put it on.
Sick.
Uh, um, and uh, relive the first encounter as much as he can in his head, remembering
Amazing.
it, remembering it how he can. Looks around, grabs a mug from the desk,
Mm-hmm.
and like I think he forces himself into the cage with Winston.
Ooh. Cool.
Oh,
Sweet. I love that. Um, for reference, what we're doing now, again, I'm sorry. I know we're going a little bit over time, but this is very cool. I almost always do this. I should get used to it. We are moving into a thing that is called Big Magic, which is a mechanic and monster of the week. This is for when use magic is not quite enough and you need to do something extremely special, much like bringing someone back to life or reconstituting a person that is now a different person from the bits of the person they were. You focus on this amulet and like reliving that first interaction with this the weirdness of Wellington and the way the things that your dad kind of opened you up to recognizing in the world. You take 1 point of harm from like trying to get in amongst these bars. I don't know if you can like fully get to him, but you can kind of like grab a hold of him through the bars.
Just need to get
Um,
shoulder to shoulder.
Yes, you can absolutely do that. Now, I'm going to say when we are doing big magic, there are usual particular constraints that you need, or some things that these might need. This could involve a lot of time, which you don't have. Experimenting with a spell before you get it right. You're just going on guts from this one. You might need multiple people, and I think you are correct in that you've got at least two. I think you know that like the more people you have, the more people you have connections with, the more like with who your dad used to be, the more it would help the spell. But you have each other for now, which will help you somewhat. Someone will definitely have to use magic. There might be a bit of a side effect, but we'll see when we get to it. So, in order to like reenact your like relive your first encounter as hard as you can, I'm going to let you choose whatever move you think is relevant for reliving that particular moment in order to try and connect with your dad.
Uh, I think I am trying to protect someone in the same way that Dad was like, "Hey, look, here's all the things that you need to do right now to save Simon." Simon's doing, "Here's all the things that you need to do right now to save Dad."
Mhm.
And in both situations, it's to protect someone. So I
Love
would like
that.
to roll to protect someone.
Go ahead and roll to protect someone.
Yeah.
The suspense. The suspense.
Thank
The
God I've got a
suspense.
slow computer.
Oi, 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 oi.
Ooh. Ooh. That is
Mixed
a mixed
success.
success, unless you want to use luck about it.
I I think it makes sense that this is not going to go perfectly.
Perfect. I love that. Great. You do your best to like get yourself in the same physical space, like a shoulder to shoulder with your dad. Get yourself in the same mindset. I think for starters, it's a little off-putting because your shoulder is like a little bit taller than your dad now,
Yeah.
and so you can't get it exactly right. No matter as much as you might try to. But you start going through like remembering all of the steps and like the ways that you tried to focus and like keep your brother okay. And a lot of it was like when your dad was coaching you through it, a lot of the things that he was telling you about was like making sure that you are like by his side and making sure that you are there so that if he reaches out in the middle of this illness that you're there to be there for him and to stay connected to him.
I think Hamish loses focus in the middle of
Mm-hmm.
like this whole effect and
Mm-hmm.
stops trying to bring like fully manifest his dad
Yeah.
and just hopes to God that like he is his dad. I think it
Yeah.
becomes less uh more like, rather than making it happen, more just like searching for proof, like
Yeah.
just to hear it.
Absolutely. Incredible. Simon, what are you wanting to do in order to help complete this big magic ritual?
As I'm like holding the magic on the door,
Mhm.
I turn and I yell out, "Did you just want to leave because you thought that Dad had gone overseas?"
Yeah. um
And with that, I turn away from the door,
Mhm.
uh, and the the magic begins to fade from it. Uh,
Mhm.
but it doesn't matter. I run across the room and I jump uh, at the both of them,
Mhm.
uh, grab the amulet, and pull forth all the memories that I have stored in it over the years of everything I can remember about Dad.
Mm.
Um, and we start to relive them, starting from the last the last time we ever saw him,
Mhm.
which was in the morning before school as we were getting ready. Uh, we remember sitting at the table eating, uh, well, sitting at the table is a generous word for Simon. Hamish was sitting at the table eating breakfast. Simon was desperately trying to get things ready because he slept in, and Dad was just calmly sipping on a coffee before heading off to work. But was actually the last time that we ever saw him. And after like pushing that memory through, Simon gives way and lets Hamish contribute a memory.
yeah. It was uh Simish, Hamish is looking up at his dad.
Mhm.
Everything behind his dad is blurred. His dad is pushing on a shopping trolley, and they're at a supermarket. Uh, and Simon's dad says something, but Hamish can't hear the words, but he hears the deepness and the resonance behind the voice, and feels comfortable in that. Um, Whatever he said was funny. It tickled his lungs, and so he giggles a little bit. Uh, and then uh, so Hamish's their dad reaches out a frame and grabs an apple and hands it to Hamish, and Hamish munches on it a little bit, and his dad says something, mumbles again, or says something, but again, it tickles him, and he laughs, and then some apple comes out of Hamish's mouth, and then uh, his dad laughs a little bit more, and then Hamish laughs a little bit more. Yeah.
Incredible. Amazing. As you are summoning and creating this sphere to like conjure up all of these memories that all of you share together, go ahead and roll whatever move you want to roll, Simon.
I think that oh man, I think that Simon is I'm gonna make a roll to help Hamish.
Cool. I like that.
And it is gonna succeed because I'm gonna spend all my luck on it.
Incredible. How many luck points do you have left?
4.
Okay. It hasn't been as dire as it seemed. Incredible.
I've been saving them for when I
You haven't been using them, and I've got 5 left.
Clutch. Incredible. You help out just by like creating this sphere and like creating this opportunity for this to work. You are reaching out to a couple of people that potentially don't have the same usual capabilities of like tapping into a magic like this as you might, and you create that opportunity for them to lend the most powerful equivalent to magic that they have, which is the connection of the relationship and the bonds that they share with each other and with you through this moment. Incredible. As this happens, there is a does that's a great question, chat. Does Winston get a say? Not for a moment. And then as like I think both of you are so involved in this like vision moment that you've kind of lost track of the actual like reality of the office, and you're kind of like flowing through all these various like memories that are getting passed amongst all of you, and all of them have that same like amber golden light out like golden hour glow to them, as you are recalling them and like summoning them forth to the spell. And then there is this like then you have a memory that both of you realize is not yours. You have a memory where it is the two of you two of you quite young, probably like around the same age of the like like 3 and 7 like 10 years ago, but before anybody got sick, before anything like that. And it's both of you playing around on like a backyard jungle gym set, and you've gotten to the top of the slide, and you feel, even seeing this in third person, you can see a younger version of what you remember of your father, leaning up against the back wall of your house, with your mother patiently standing beside him with a cup of tea in her hand, both of them watching you as, Simon, you're like sitting at the top of like a little play slide, as Hamish is coming up behind you, and you see your dad goes, he's going to push him off, isn't he? And your mother goes, no, he's not like that. And then you see both of them kind of turn and watch you for a second. And you see Simon actually reaches around and like grabs a hold of your ankle, Hamish, and just kind of drags you down the slide with him instead. And both of your parents go like, oh. And in the back, like coming around the corner, you hear your grandma, who is like coming out with a bunch of like fresh baked scones. She's definitely the one that would have taught your dad how to do any kind of baking. Comes around the corner, looks around, and is like, those boys, they're going to get themselves in far too much trouble. You should be teaching them better than that. I mean, and your dad just goes, oh, come on, give them a rest. They'll be all right. They'll be all right, won't they? Your mum goes, they will be. Let's just hope for that. And you feel in this memory your dad's like admiration and surety that no matter what you all went through, at the very least the two of you were going to go through it together, and that was the main thing that he wanted for you both. And as that memory and the magic fades, you see uh you see yourselves come back to reality. You see the magic of the like the door and the cage is all gone because of the amount of like energy it took up to complete this particular spell. And you see standing next to you is a completely freed dude that looks more like your dad than he did before. Still looking very confused. But like looks at the both of you, and then all of you hear the sound of like chunk, chunk, chunk of security people coming running down running like down the hallway. And there's a very quick motion, and your dad runs to the door of the office and kind of goes like, sorry, misunderstanding. We're good in here. Kids, you need to leave, right? You need to get out of here.
Yeah, we probably need to go, right, Simon?
Uh, uh,
We
r-
can I use,
Yeah.
please, uh, the things I've seen.
Yeah, for
When you
sure.
encounter a creature phenomenon, you made it clear you've seen it before.
You've
You know,
definitely seen
obviously
this
with
person
pickle and
before.
whatnot.
Yeah.
But I want to compare that expression to pickle, no, that to
Mm.
like the gherkin situation,
Mhm. Mhm.
um, and like see if I recognize the difference, like recognize that this is more dad, but
Mhm.
still not dad.
You look at this person, and things with the things that you have seen before, you know that this standing in front of you is your dad. It might be slightly more than what your dad used to be, but it is your dad. Your dad is just better at getting you out of trouble than either of you two are, and he is doing a convincing job of saying that he is going to escort you both out of the building.
Great, great. Yeah, we need to go, right, Simon? Boy, you're late for kindergarten.
uh, right.
Simon, you need
Yep.
to go.
Yes. Yes. And I start to kind of come to from the fact that I've seen my dad uh,
Yeah.
in person again. Um, I as we go to leave, I turn around and go, um, you might need this, and I slip the you might need this, and I slip the armlet off my arm, and I give it to him.
He grabs it, um, and kind of pushes it back to you at the same time that he like puts an arm around your shoulder and starts walking with you down the hallway. And as you are like walking down the hallway, kind of as a unit, you see like half a dozen security personnel that are like in the middle of double checking their orders because they came in because a huge fight had started. And he's walking with you and he's like, no, 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 they're just confused. We're all right. I'm just gonna help them walk them out. And as you are like walking through the office, he walks you like all the way to the elevator, kind of pushes the elevator button, pushes it a little bit harder, and then eventually there's like a ding, and the elevator doors open back up, and he leads you both inside with you. And then the moment the elevator doors closes, he gives you both the biggest hug that you have ever felt in your life. And even though there is like a moment of what, like so much that needs to be gone back over, and so much like that is to be said about the time that you have spent separately, he grabs a hold of both of you and says, "Please tell me that you brought your own car."
Yeah, we still got your old one.
You didn't. You walked.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, we did. We walked.
We did too. No, no car.
Okay. That's right. We can talk on the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Great.
What?
All right. Straight faces. Don't. You've been acting up, and I'm escorting you out of the building. We'll be fine.
Uh, is Monica our sister?
Yeah, that's a lot. We're gonna unpick that later.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh
as
my
you're
god. Hamish, you were trying to get with your sister?
I was not trying to get with Monica. What do you mean? No, absolutely not. Monica. No offense,
I mean,
Dad, but Monica's not my.
You had a number, I'm just saying.
I have other girls' numbers.
and as you fall into the sibling bickering you were a part of as you walked into this building, now with your father, you may still have some mysteries to uncover at a later date, but for now, that is where we are going to leave this particular mystery off for this evening. Thank you all for sticking with us because we ran over time. Apologies, but I always do. Thank you all. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that we got to this part of the story, and I'm glad that you all had a wonderful time. Thank you for your helping out in chat as well. Super useful information dumps. And yeah, this is super lovely. I will give you all a moment to say your goodbyes and your plugs and all that you might need to do. Starting with Campbell, what you getting up to?
Sure. Kia ora, my name's Campbell. I am. What's the most relevant thing? I'm directing a show with Stagecraft in Wellington later this year. You can find it on the Stagecraft website. It's in August, so it's a while off yet. Otherwise, I have a blog website called lankyrobot.com. I think that's all the public stuff you could probably find about me. You can also find me on Blue Sky at lankyrobot.
Amazing, wonderful. Pass it down the line, Teague. What's your stuff?
Thanks, gang, for coming along. If you want to see more of me, Campbell and I are doing late night knife fight.
Oh yes, actually, that's a great point.
Is it next week or the week after? Next week?
It's on the 28th of June.
Yeah.
Week
So
after.
Campbell and I are going to do a yet to be decided improv format at late night knife fight, and then later in the year I'll be doing a children's show at Circa Theatre in late September.
What's it called?
Other than that, I'm not really on socials. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I am Teague Mackay, TeagMackay, but I've uninstalled Instagram, so that would just be adding to a number that I don't look at. I don't plan on emotionally destroying the children, but I can't be held accountable for what children feel.
I also don't know if you
it.
guys caught this, but we started off tonight not swearing.
Yeah.
I accidentally swore midway through the first thing, and then it increased as the night went on.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even
Absolutely.
notice.
Yeah, sorry about that. There's swearing in the rule book. I don't know.
I didn't ask if this is a.
We can barely be held accountable, you know. We got involved.
We can't be held accountable for anything that we did.
Amazing, wonderful. And yes, hello. I am Ruby. This is RubyOK on multiple platforms, including also here on Twitch. I do gaming streams. You can also find me on questbook.nz. I am a GM for hire, storyteller for hire. If you want to play games with me much like this or other wonderful games, you can do so. I am also, if you want to see me do more stuff this week for Wonderful Kiwi RPG Week, I will be back on Saturday for the Great Monster Make-Off with Zero RPG. We will be doing more Monster of the Week style content, kind of like Great British Bake Off, where they'll give us a bunch of challenges to do all kinds of things. I'm really looking forward to it. So I hope you'll come along for that as well. But other than that, that is everything for me today. Go check out KiwiRPG in general. If you're not able to make it to a stream, go check out the website. We've got a whole library of various cool KiwiRPGs you can go play. Go get yourself a bundle and play some of these games for cheap as well. go see other cool shows that are doing other cool KiwiRPG content, or just take it as an opportunity to engage in some local creatives in your area. It's a wonderful week, KiwiRPG week, so go enjoy it to its fullest. But that is it for us this evening. I hope you'll have had a wonderful time, and we shall see you next time. Bye!